Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Canadian Challenger League. Today we have Axios versus Oceanus Gaming. This is play number 4. They're trying to fight for third and fourth place here in Canadian Challenger League. With me today, always, is Cookies. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for some up north siege. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic today. It's a great day for some Canadian Challenger League. Let's go through the bans and see what maps we're playing through today here in this matchup.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to be going to Oregon and Consulate for the first two maps. Yeah, the graphic is not there, but that's okay. But yeah, it's going to be Oregon and Consulate. Like I said, Clubhouse is going to be the decider. And to be honest with you, I wish I knew who was good on what map, but I guess we can presume that since each team picked the map that they wanted to pick based on this system, where you get to pick basically the map that you want to pick, the ban pick. I think the teams are going to be on some maps that they're strong on and comfortable on, and they're looking to be some exciting maps. We've got the new Oregon. It's always interesting to see just who's going to come out with some crazy meta breaking strategies, and then of course Consulate and Clubhouse, the old favorites.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting here. Of course, we have Oceanus, and that pick was Oregon. But it's interesting to see because we've seen Oregon played so far. A lot of talk between pros and the casters saying that Oregon's one of the most defensive-sided maps. But Axios, they got the map pick because, of course, it's Oceanus' map pick. They get the side pick. They picked attack. They didn't pick defense. It's an interesting choice here from Axios.
Yeah, like I said, maybe they know something we don't. Because like I said, it's defender side. It's a lot of maps when they first come out are kind of defender side, and a lot of them are just kind of like teams kind of flounder around like they don't really know what they want to do or whatever. But as the map develops and as strategies develop, sometimes your mind gets blown and there's like Axios has done. They start on attack. Maybe they have something that nobody's really done yet or nobody's really onto yet. The new wave, if you will.
The new wave. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And then, of course, Consulate Axios map pick. We'll have Oceanus pick defense first on that map. And if we get to it, we'll be a Clubhouse. So Oceanus will be on defense first on Clubhouse. But yeah, we're getting right now. Looks like interesting though. The Oceanus not really going to coastline. Villa being banned out as well by Axios and goes as Cafe. So it doesn't seem like Axios like those defense-sided maps. So maybe they're going to show something different here on Oregon.
Yeah, I would say, Villa and Cafe, between those two, it's like they're definitely just, line in the sand, gritty maps that are pretty grindy. But, that's actually really curious that they ended up attacking on Oregon, knowing that, those are maps that are really grindy, and Oregon is honestly one of those maps. It's right there in the club, at least for the time being, until the meta develops a little better, or maybe there's more operator choices coming down the line. Oregon's a map where it's pretty grindy, just like Villa and Cafe. So is Axios going to potentially have some sort of mismatch there in terms of their mindset? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they play. It was, if you guys didn't know, it was last week we had Axios play against PHM. They beat them 2-0. We had Windstorm play against Oceanus Gaming, and Oceanus Gaming beat them 2-0 as well. So it's not a whole lot of VOD footage here, guys. There's some VOD you can look over, not information on these players. So we'll be interested to see how they play out and what they do here on these 3 maps, though. Yeah, we'll see exactly if Oceanus Gaming can really take this, because they're tired on defense, though. So they should have the one up here, especially in Oregon. We've seen teams play Oregon so far from PL and everything too, and most teams on defense, they win it 4 rounds at least. We've seen 5-1s, we've seen 6-0s.
Yeah, but also we've seen some pretty clean attack casts, at least in EUL. There's been some teams that just come out and they completely counter the Thatcher ban that typically comes out on that map with a really good Cali play. I think it was Rogue that actually kind of was the first team to have that first. Like I said, they just come out whoa, this guy can play Cali. He plays it really well. Maybe we should.
Yeah, there was that secret match too. The new secret play. I think it was Draven who was playing Cali, and it was he held that long angle from Freezer towards that construction hallway, and man, it just perfect Cali plays.
Yeah, it's no man. These guys are these are competitive players, right? They're not gonna, even though they're competitively minded and they probably have the most hours on the game. Anybody, it takes time for stuff to develop, and I think we're gonna see some more, like I said, intriguing things that come out as the map matures.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how the map matures, how the meta develops really for you guys. Let's see what the bans are too, because the bans are a big thing first, because the bans are a big part, and I'm interested to see if they add more bans as more operators come out. But more than anything, the bans really develop how the game plays out. Especially for Axios, they're gonna attack first, so they're gonna really wants to see how the bans go their way.
Right. And like I said earlier, I mean, the Thatcher ban is pretty common. So it's almost a given that one of the teams is going to ban him out, or potentially a Maverick. And it's actually be Capital. That's an interesting one to start.
So if Capital banned out first, there goes the Firebolt. It's gonna be pretty much more difficult for the attack for Axios to really deny some of those, those entrenched positions, or those smoke balls deny sign of line of sight. And I'm assuming next one's actually be attached, but no, it's Maverick instead. So rather get rid of Thatcher, who's pretty helpful in situations, they get rid of Maverick, make it more difficult to, maybe if they get the ban tricking, it's be more difficult to get those walls open.
Yeah, I mean, Maverick is, there's a lot of walls where if they get mav'd, it would be, they create kind of, like for example, that back blue hallway and the basement site. If you mav that open, it's definitely a nightmare as a defender, especially if you don't have a mirror, which I imagine, oh, it's actually going to be Clash. We see Clash going off the board, curiously enough. We saw United rocking the Clash strats the other day, but
yeah, we've seen Clash bans in the past, but usually they're considered target bans because teams bring Clash out in certain situations. But we have seen Clash played on that basement defense by certain teams in EUL, and they use that Clash pretty well to deny pushes into construction. So maybe that they're assuming that not Axios, but Oceanus Gaming brings out strats from that kind of mindset.
Yeah, and like I said, I was kind of getting at before the Clash got locked in is that basement site with a mirror on that back hallway wall is pretty delicious, but it looks like that isn't going to come out unless it's going to be a 6-pick, which no, it's going to be the Echo, which actually Echo is playable again. Hallelujah. The players probably don't
we have
way,
Echo still available now, so that's going to make this. I didn't ban him though because Echo's so powerful. We've seen a reason how teams play differently with Echo soft banned, but now he's available. Teams are still letting him go through the ban process.
Yeah, and I mean, these are probably the most unique bans I've seen in a long time. So this is going to be a good one, I think. To the basement first we go, and like I said, no Mira. It looked like the Echo's, he looked like he was out to 6-pick again, but they ultimately stick that Echo. He's running the Echo pistol. We're seeing 2 bulletproofs coming out, so that's going to be 4 different cameras for the defense. A lot of intel control and zone of control they're going to be able to practice here. They're going to be reinforcing the meeting area. There's also a Maestro as well. That's like six cameras.
Yeah, that should be 6 different cameras for the defense to use to gather information. I'm assuming they're going to open up these hatches. We've seen plays like this before by teams where they open up these hatches, they play upstairs in meeting and deny a push from like big tower into site, or if they push from construction into site through electrical. That's how you can open those hatches and deny that. But really, we'll see if they can, if Axios is going to clear us out, or are they going to just push site instead? Maybe push through main stairs, maybe push through freezer.
And we see a lot of teams go for that front take, and it's pretty difficult to get a plan off. So I'm hoping to see a back take from Axios, and it looks like they're going to clear start by clearing west over, which is customary Oregon. Been doing it for years. And they're going to start with opening this pantry wall where there's defenders holed up. At least one defender, at least.
Ash is already in. Open up that wall. The Ash of Varus already got away into meeting. Look for 1 kill. There's the first kill. Big Tits gets another. And Varus gets a second as well. As 3 kills are in a span of about 10 seconds here from Axios. All of the roamers from Oceanus Gaming are off the board.
And that may, speaking of how many years we've looked at Oregon, that may have been the fastest West over clear and the fastest 3K I think I've ever seen in the history of Oregon. That was absolutely murderous. In the first 30, 40 seconds, they're all dead, and they're just going to continue the tempo. Right through the site goes the Ash. She's trying to find the smoke and deletes him. Where's the last fire in pantry? In the freezer. That's the Echo, but he could have all the cams in the world. It's going to make this 1v3 nearly impossible. Habana with the bearing out. And Big Sexy. And Axios just absolutely slaughter.
Yeah, they took that by storm. They exactly knew how to play that out. It's definitely one of those old Oregon strategies said from before where they hold meeting and they deny pushes from below. And Axios, I'm assuming they played old Oregon because they played that perfectly. They knew where to push through, and Oceanus Gaming were taken out just way by surprise. And I expect for both Veros and Big Sexy to be RB meeting, taking those fights, and as you said before, deleting the roamers.
Yeah, I mean, it was also a really good pinch. They were thermiting the tower wall, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They also thermited that while pushing in through split and while impacting the laundry wall. That was just, like I said, just amazing. Probably and it was like we talked about in the pregame. Teams are going to come out with some new wave stuff, and I guess that's the new wave, to just push from 3 different directions on meeting.
I say if meeting's gonna be that big of a deal and they're gonna play it like that, you might as well put in the effort already to get rid of that rather than tiptoe it, take your time. You need to just go with force and just deal with the roamers in the first place. They're not going to be expecting it. They definitely expect it there, and it worked out perfectly here for Axios. So hats off to them. Let's see how they play on this next stage. We go upstairs to dorms, and I guess that's one thing too interesting to talk about too. They don't like calling it kids dorms because in this atmosphere of today, calling it kids dorms isn't great, but I don't know what else to call it at that point.
I think it's ingrained in my mind to call it kids, so I don't think I'll ever
really
call
difficult.
it. I don't think I'll ever call it whatever it is now. It's always kids' bedroom to me.
You call it small and main, I guess, maybe, but that's still pretty difficult.
But yeah, I mean, looks like Oceanus coming out with a totally different mindset this time. They've completely dropped the Echo, opting for, count them, 3 C4s and some beeper devices, alarms that are going to be set by the castle. And they're also going to be roaming downstairs yet again, kind of an offset setup where they're playing in the kitchen area. And kind of, honestly, if Axios clears like they did on the basement site, kind of setting themselves up for another right pickings, but it looks like they're going to be clearing Armory and Master first.
It's a split push once again, like you said before, when you had a 3 split on meeting. You have one pushing Armory, one pushing bedroom, you have pushing big window as well. A pulse here, I'm pretty good at it from the defense, but it doesn't really matter at this point. And here they are, they've already cleared out bedroom, they're already pushing through. They see one inside attic, and Ash is already getting a kill on a Japanadian. I don't know where that was from. That's already one member off the board. It was the castle with the ump.
And it looks like a Jaeger, someone's coming up the main lobby here. Yep, the Jaeger of Exod, who I was actually going to highlight before the game started. I didn't really get around to the rosters, but Exod is definitely the fragger of the lobby, and I'm hoping he can provide more of that gunplay, as this team's going to need it. Yeah, Axios with the quick opening kill. They don't waste any time. They've already established plenty of map control, but stalling out a little bit now as, of course, the IQ is traded out.
Yeah, after that first trade out though from the IQ of Veros, they're kind of slowing down now. They're stalling out, trying to see if they can get rid of that roamer, but they don't know where the roamer went to even. At that point, Exod already made his way back up white stairs and back onto site. You see him right here. He's trading shots with the person in that big window. And there's a cheeky angle here from Kibbs. Looks like he's trying to watch someone pushing through that kid's window or small dorm's window upstairs. I don't know whether or not they're going to try to be able to get this wall open, though. It was electrified at one point due to the electric claw of Kibbs, but it looks as if he's been able to take it off maybe by the IQ or what have it. Or actually, Ashes from below looks he uses lifeline to get an angle onto it. And so that big wall open into game. They should be able to get a choice. There's nobody inside of this. One person to attic, though. So the person attic will be the first to deny with the cross.
Oh, wow. Kibbs just got crabbed on by the Habana, and Ashes finds Exod. So that's huge. At least one of the C4s from below taken out. I thought that was going to be the trump card for Oceanus, but the lurking Habana striking some damage into the C4s there. And Phoenix actually finds 2 kills. Looks like from the kids Whitehall rotate, and now it's just a 1-on-2. Just 1 C4, but he's rotated up. It's the Valkyrie of Dark End. He's got to find 2, and he's got plenty of information to do so. Ping's coming out. He finds 1. That's Challenger. He's only got the 1 health Habana to take out, and that's a save from Dark End.
Darkin from the attic to get 2 kills to clutch the round. It looked like it was gonna be done for from the side of Axios, but they could not stop Darkin in his attic entrenchment. And more than anything too, Axios really good start there. They were stalled out though because of that flank from Exod. Though I will say it was really good from Big Sexy to come downstairs and try and deny any more rotations or any more kind of plays. So you saw Kibbs maybe trying to rotate, maybe trying to get C4 off from below, but unfortunately he was caught up by Big Sexy. So really good work from both teams, but unfortunately Axios are just choking at the end there, unfortunately.
Yeah, just kind of unable to seal a deal because again, like they were in quickly. But I think one of the things they overlooked were kind of the players below. I mean, I think the Valkyrie ultimately ended up rotating up into attic, but it was like they kind of, I mean, the Habana kind of lurked down there, but they took control of everywhere but where the defenders were actually playing. And even if, like, let's say they didn't get those picks to start the round, it would have been kind of like those guys were just sitting down below with like a bunch of C4s, and there were obviously pings going on the site. I don't think it would have actually ended that well anyway for the attackers, considering how much they just ignored that room.
Yeah. It didn't seem like the attackers really trying to deal with any of their angles. Like, sure, they people on big window, but they didn't deal with anybody attic until the end of the game. They really kind of just forced their way into games, and that was really all they got accomplished.
Yeah, they probably needed a little bit more pressure from the big window, but interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure I saw the Cade before he got killed. He was holding the big window jump in from below the floral. So question is Oceanus now, as we go into round 3, are they going to commit to that roam again? It looks like a similar off lineup, but not quite the same. The Maestro getting dropped for it looks to be a Goyo, but where are these Goyo shields going to flop down at?
Yeah, Japanese and Goyo there. Looks like try to place them for if they push main stairs. Like, he's only got 2 shields now. He doesn't have 3, so there's only so many places you can put those exploding shields. I forget what they're called. They're called volcanic or Vulcan shields? Vulcan shields. But yeah, no, that's pretty good from them. We'll see how they do here. Then again, they're not roaming this time though, so they're going for more for turtle strap because of how, you know, inefficient. Well, not really. The roam didn't do anything because they push it so quickly here from Axios. So now they're expecting to try and, you know, blunt the attack here on a turtle strat, reinforce those hatches, see if they can just hold off for time rather than, you know, try and deal with it from above.
Right, and it looks like, yeah, like you said, they're all turtled on the site now. Kind of seeded the top floor to Axios. And it looks like that Zofia may potentially... No, she's headed up the stairs. Thought she was going to head down the freezer stairs there for a second in the opening minute. Wouldn't that be something? But it looks like the Ash is going to be doing that on the other staircase. The main staircase coming down, but he's going to be face-to-face with the Goyle shield. The aforementioned freezer push is going to start coming through, though. The Thermite getting that hatch, and the Ash looking to hopefully deal with that Goyle shield. She doesn't have a Wamai to deal with. That's the other operator, I believe. Oceanus nixed away in favor of Elysian from their last basement hold. Gonna be,
no, Wamai's banned.
Oh, I'm like losing my mind. Okay.
Either way, so yeah, the Wamai is not in there, so they're able to get rid of that Vulcan shield over by main stairs. They're also pushing Freeze at the same time, though, so this is kind of a dual push here from Axios. Though again, that's a cross though, because of course you can watch the Freezer from the laundry because that wall is entirely soft.
Yeah, and that's going to be an interesting cross that Axios is going to be able to set up here now. It looks like the diffuser is actually going to be in Freezer. I'm curious to see how they're going to plant this one. Again, the new wave we talked about pre-game. Is he going to run in from Freezer and just plant on the corner of the reinforcement?
It just seems very, very scary if you're just going to run in like that. Especially because you have the cross. There's someone in laundry right now who could hold the angle right there too. He's holding back behind laundry, not pushing it just yet. I know that you have Pharos and Big Sexy over by main stairs. There's a minute left. There's still time to information. I don't know how many smoke cans left. There's no smoke cans. There's a shot from Exhaust in the back of laundry gets the kill on the Ashes. There's still to play there. It looks like it's Tom waiting for a chance to push through as there's the Ashes come out from it's pushing right through. He's looking for the kill onto Exile, but no, Vera's gets taken down too. Exile 2 for the round. And Felix gets one of the Big Sexy. Tom gets one of the Exile coming from Freezer though. As they know he's coming from Freezer though, they've locked on to Tom, and Japanese gets the kill on Tom. Now it's a challenger in a 1v4.
You know, 1v4, and the best thing he can do here is call a tactical timeout. Not much he can do running down these main stairs into the double echo drones that are still up. Defenders all entrenched. It looks like, I would imagine, might call a timeout here, but he may be going for the CGG as well.
Could be, yeah. There's not much he can do at this point, really.
Not much he can do. He's getting pinged. He's getting drunken. He's going to get shotgun. Now he got sniped by the Vector across the map. And yeah, I'm not sure what Axios' endgame there was. Like I said, the diffuser was in Freezer. I'm not sure where he was trying to plant, or if the goal was to plant at all. I mean, if the goal wasn't to plant, they might as well just left the diffuser and spawn. But I mean, it just kind of, this wasn't a clear end goal in mind for that attack.
Yeah, it seemed like they wanted to deal with the person in Freezer, or not Freezer, the person inside of laundry, which was Exod, but like there's not much you can do really. Maybe you could, it's just because he's hiding behind the laundry machine. You saw Varus just try to push him straight out, but in the end, it's like there's so many different crosses. You have people pillars, you have people inside of sight that can watch that too. On top of that, so it's not a very, it doesn't seem very likely that you'd be able to get that off and deal with the person in laundry and push Freezer. So again, I agree with you. I don't know exactly what the end game there was for Axios, what their intent was, what their goal was on that change or on that attack, but we'll have Oceanus win their second defense. We'll have 1-2 in the favor of Oceanus. We'll go now to another bomb site. We'll go maybe to a meeting, or actually what they picked? They picked meeting and dining? Oh no, they picked kitchen and dining.
Yep, and curiously enough, I see the Cali coming out, and I mean, like we talked about in fans, Thatcher's up, and we haven't really seen him yet. I mean, have we? Am I losing my mind again, or have we not?
I don't think you've seen. No, we've seen Sledge. I haven't seen Thatcher at all.
So I mean, maybe they're just so used to practicing without Thatcher or something, but not going to be bringing him. They're just going to be bringing that Cali, which I mean, that's one way to deal with the shields that OCG could be bringing, but they aren't bringing the Goyle this time, and they seem to have a lot of focus around those bulletproofs. but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Cali over the Thatcher is actually coming out to be.
Yeah, let's see how exactly they play Cali. You see Varus and Cali rather than Ashe. He was playing Ashe for maybe the fragging role, but now he's picking a flex role of Cali though. So it's a weird role choice here too, as it seems like Varus is the one that's been fragging for Axios so far. And the mirror's on the board though. Mirror's not banned, so Exile bring mirror out, and that'd be a good way to watch Dining if they push through from the small tower side into Dining. We have also Roam here from Phoenix as well too. So there's a lot of potential here for for lethality here from Oceanus.
Missed opportunity for the Cali, and looks like Challenger has been deleted from the server. So they're going to be playing this round 4v5. And yeah, I mean, this Cali choice, the Cali does have a great SMG. It's basically a pocket F2 with 20 rounds, but not sure I'd put at least my so far, my top fragger on that versus an L85 with the Thatcher. And like we see here, they're trying to clear an ADS with flashes, where, I mean, an EMP would do a much better job, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're down a man, and it's going to be hard to get
was
this
that
attack going.
It looks like they're able to open up that wall into bathroom, at least part of it, and try and deal with the person, the Maestro of Darken in there. There's still, of course, the shield to be dealt with before that Darken's using, and of course they're going to use their X number charge above in small tower to open up from above if there's any denial. So that wall should be partially opened up, as you can do that. You can do that on New Oregon. Create Old Oregon is open up from above on this dining site.
And curiously, maybe opening that angle for the Cali later, but considering how aggressively she's playing right now, she's basically playing like Ashe, pushed all the way up on the showers wall there to destroy that shield. But yeah, I mean, that seems like a potentially strong Cali angle, but he's just not necessarily playing it right now.
Yeah, they have the mirror as well too, so it's very difficult to plant in Dining with that mirror available. I don't know exactly what other angles the defense have to deny a plant if they do that. There is still a smoke Japanese on the board too, so Japanese should have smokes as well, still use some damage going through. He just walks right into Phoenix, who's playing the hallway bathroom. There goes Varus, there goes your top fragger, and shots come out through as one of the Maestro and bathroom is still there too. So there's still entrenched defenders as well as defenders so roaming that they still haven't dealt with.
Phoenix getting his second kill from that hallway, looking honestly gonna get a third, but he's finished off by Big Sexy, and it's just gonna be a 1-on-4 situation, 2-on-4 round, excuse me. It rapidly turned into a meltdown into the face of the 81 round drum of Darken, but looks like we're gonna get a rehost because again, our friend dropped.
Challenger dropped from Axios. Unfortunately, you need a rehost here for Axios to grab that player back. We're back in a little bit, guys. We're gonna cut back to our cameras real quick, and we're gonna talk a bit about the game. Hopefully not so long. Hopefully the rehost is quick. But so far, we've seen from these teams, it seems like Axios had a good start. They had a really good roam clear of meeting, did really well. But now we go on to these other clears, other plays onto upstairs and onto that dining kitchen site, and it's definitely some questionable plays here.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely started. It looked like they had it all scripted out, right? It looked like, maybe they just had that meeting clear scripted to where, they could just, it looked as good as it did, because that looked like one of the best Oregon attacks I've seen since the new Oregon came out and became a comp map. That was pretty good. But, I mean, other than that, though, it seems they're kind of struggling with their end goals and what, in finishing rounds, ultimately. I mean, they get in and they just can't finish.
Yeah, it seems like, because especially when you had attack downstairs, they push freezer, they push main stairs, but you really can't just push main stairs and freezer on that downstairs take. There's so many crosses from pillars, there's so many crosses from laundry that really disable you from pushing that site. Unless you had picks from before that allowed you to make sure that there made defenders to, take you down on those pushes. But it was still a 5v5, or maybe a 5v4 at that point. Either way, it wasn't available to do that. And then we go to our kitchen dining site, and they had the mirror too, because mirror's not banned, so they're able to watch dining with the mirror. And you also had people in that, that bathroom hallway as well, and in bathroom. And it just seems like they're walking into where all of the defenders have put their resources.
Yeah, I mean, the bans too, like Mira being up is just, that makes that dining site a nightmare unless you go above, which, to be fair, they were down a man from the start. Maybe that was their plan later, but usually, generally, if you want a recipe for success on that site, you've got to get into dorms and sledge above it. At least if you're going to have mirror up like that, you got to have the small tower and the
I guess what was that point? Challenger was that sledge they need, that soft breach potential for that site. But same point, even if they lost their sledge, it just seemed like even in general, already from the way they spawned, they were anticipating to push dining like that, even though mirrors on the board, even though they had so much resources in bathroom and bathroom hall. So we'll see what happens as we go back. We're waiting for us to just go through, but I'm gonna see what Axios keeps on attack, because they pick attack first, so I expected them to have, you know, maybe better game plans than what they do. They've seen so far besides that first attack.
Like I said, that first attack looked like they had like the research notes for just absolutely dominating on Oregon or something, but ultimately it just kind of like, I mean, there's a disconnect. There's the round where they brought the diffuser to freezer in the basement. Just I don't know. It's definitely slowed down quite a bit from that first round, and I don't know. Is it going to continue? I mean, it's like just like the last round, they brought the Cali, and the Cali. It's like, yeah, that angle from the small tower stairs into the site would have probably been nasty, but it's like I said, you kind of have to clear out kids, and you kind of have to. It's like that guy. I'm pretty sure the person who was on Cali is, you know, one of their top fraggers. We talked about that, right? And it's like you kind of need that guy to help clear out dorms, you know, to kind of actually get the attack going. So it's just like, even if the player hadn't disconnected, I'm not so sure they actually would have went for dorms, which is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of peculiar, but I guess
we should give work to Oceanus though. They've had some great responses. They had some great resources put through, and they had some great strats so far from Oceanus. And then also just seems like especially what Oceanus really good for so far, and like responding. You had Phoenix play really well in the last site, just playing that bathroom hall, knowing when to push through, when to be aggressive as well too. So props to Oceanus so far, but really in Axios too, like they seem not really sure on how to push that exactly. Especially too with like Cali as well. Like you can hold that, but who's gonna clear out bathroom? How are you gonna clear out bathroom hall without a fragger?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that SMG is crazy, but like, it actually is obscene how good that SMG is. But you know, you saw he wasn't able to actually ADS fast enough to kill. I think it was Phoenix on the Jaeger, just looking like vintage joystick out there on the Jaeger, just swinging on that hallway, destroying people. But it's like, yeah, I mean, they definitely think, I feel like they would benefit from putting their fragger on a better gun, you know, like an L85 that Thatcher brings. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure whether they're not bringing Thatcher. I don't know. It's possible, like I said, that they practiced their whole lives without Thatcher, and for this moment, and even though he's available, they don't need him.
Could be. They could be they said practice him enough. They don't bring him because they usually see him banned, so they're bringing Thatcher in the first place. As we see what happens, we'll see. So we're 3-1 right now in the favor of Oceanus. We have about 2 more rounds to go on this defense side for Oceanus Gaming. We'll see exactly where they go and what they play. I'm assuming at this point they're going to go back to the basement side of it. Oh no, they'll probably go back upstairs actually, won't they?
Potentially. I don't think they completed like a 4 rotation or anything. So
because they played.
I want to say they're probably going to go to. And they won. Yeah, one basement and they won.
Yeah.
Quick maths. I would say they're probably going to go to meeting, right?
No, because they won. Because the first round they lost. Second round they played top floor. They won it. Third round they won basement, and fourth round they won dining and kitchen. So they should be able to go back to. Because 2 rounds went by, they should be able to go back upstairs.
Yeah, I'm like, my brain is melting. Remember when I said Wamai was in the?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you forget.
What? Wamai?
What?
Because I'm like remembering that they banned Wamai, and like my brain's thinking one thing, I said another. I'm like a reverse Uno card right now in my brain.
Reverse Uno card.
It's okay. It happens. It happens.
Hey, it's a long day, man, guys. I also long days. Come back from work and we're all tired and everything. Things happen. But either way, so should we go back upstairs? We should see. Like last time they had the upstairs attack, didn't go that badly though. Even though it was a bit of a choke in the end, they couldn't close that round out at 2v1 against Darkin, who was playing at Attic. But overall, that attack wasn't that bad. They just need more pressure on the people playing inside of inside of main dorms and small dorms and stuff like that. People who are playing in those entrance positions.
Yeah, I mean, also the intel game too. I mean, we saw the ping and pop came out. Valkyrie got a ping on the last 2 players, and it was just swift deletion. You know, so it's like they've got to do something about the intel game, which I mean, it kind of loops back to the, you know, maybe they don't have enough utility to deal with it all.
That's both IQ, both Echo and Valkyrie are available, so IQ seems like a must pick at this point.
Yeah, it seems like an IQ Thatcher is almost required to deal with the amount of intel. Like they're bringing alarms and like Maestro cams, and there was around they had the Maestro, the Echo, and the like bulletproof. It was like, I don't know how you can get the math to add up in your favor without bringing another
bring a Thatcher or something to deal with all those cameras. There's so much there. So they bring Maestro, Valkyrie, and Echo. That's a lot of cams you bring on the board there. That's so much information you got to deal with, and that's just them being able to know where you come from, where your push is happening. And if you don't bring the tools to deal with that ahead, you're just gonna walk into what C4s from below. That was their main plan when it came to that top floor site. Of course, it didn't come to fruition, but hey, it could come to fruition next time they play it.
Yeah, I mean, things could change. I mean, because like, as much as we're talking about it, I hope, because both these teams have extensive coaching staffs. I would say, these teams are definitely talking it out here in this little intermission, and there's a lot of hopefully some adjustments going through. But we're, I think, one player away from starting again.
Almost there. I'm gonna see this time if they play that top floor site, if we see Axios roam clear actually this downstairs part. Because last time we talked about the C4s, it didn't really come into play. We didn't see anybody see forward, but that could easily change. So I wonder if this time Axios are gonna, play the proactive team and deal with those roamers before it even happens. Just because like you had Exod last time. Exod Axios last time did make them stand still because he came from the flank that made up army stairs and deal with the IQ who was playing that side on that time.
And that was probably the biggest ball flank that I've seen in a minute too, because he literally, like, that was early in the round. And that's not even like one speed Jaeger. He did that on 2 speed Jaeger and just walked up and murdered somebody and then ran all the way back.
Back he was site. 2 speed Jaeger up the stairs, kills the IQ. Like 5 seconds later, inside of big dorms, just waiting at the window.
Is he like using a mod where Jaeger has 1 speed still? Is that what he's doing?
You mean 3 speed?
Or yeah. Yes, 3 speed. But
yeah, it was crazy to see that happen more than anything too. So if let's see if they play us out. If we go upstairs, I definitely need to play at attic, because you see most teams when they play attic, they open up or play upstairs. They open up attic. They open up games to deal with any people entrenched in attic and entrenched, like, because the thing is, if you open games, the person attic is going to be the person that's going to have the crossfire. So you have to deal with them either way. Like, you can't just leave dark in there like next time.
Right, and then I don't know. I mean, maybe they feel like the attic push has a poor end game, since there is a capital ban, and that's that spot underneath the little slope drop off.
Yeah,
that is pretty difficult to push without a capital. So maybe that's why.
They could be. Maybe they don't have the utility, or they're not bringing the correct utilities to deal with that, or they don't need to or want to. So, but either way, even if you open the wall though into attic though, that in itself is pressure onto the person in attic.
Right. Well, we're going back to kids, so let's see if that is the adjustment that comes through. They are bringing, it looks to be 2 different R breachers, like always. I want to say they've been bringing 2. But
yeah, the IQs on the board. Varus will jump off of Ash onto Zofia instead, and I'm gonna see what happens though. Again, you can open up attic. You can just open up in general, or you could be really ballsy and open up the trophy wall into attic as well. I think that was reinforced last time, but of course the problem with that is that the fact that they can shoot you from big dorm into that spot if you try to open that.
The thing is, they're bringing these 2 breachers, but are they going to put them to work? Are they actually going to put them to work? We do see the pack-a-punch to IQ, the Super Saiyan IQ pick, 6 pick, and Darkin going to be swapping off the smoke onto a Bandito. So triple.
Yeah, it's interesting this time they bring the IQ, but there's not as many. It doesn't seem like there's as many gadgets or as many intel here. Though I will say the smoke now is for Maestro instead.
Yeah, Darkin is just all over the place. Like he can't make up his mind. But he's gonna settle on the Maestro, and yeah, there's gonna be intel overload again between the alarms, 2 Maestro cams, and another bulletproof from the Jaeger. That's just intel palooza. But there's also 0 barbed wire, and it looks like they're also going for an off-site roam again. So
interesting.
Is that an exploitable combination by the attack? Because you can quite literally flop in a window somewhere, and short of a beeping alarm, what's to stop you?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they just kind of push at this point, because you see, of course, last time they held downstairs for a little bit, though they didn't say that for the most part. They still returned back to the site after they saw how exactly Axios was pushing it from Armory into Massive Betterment into games. But this time it looks like they're still going for that downstairs play. They have 2 C4s to the name, and of course the only intel this time is going to be the bulletproof cam, beeping sounds, and the evil eyes. So let's just see how they play this out. There's a heavy room setup meeting as well though, so it's a very different planet from Oceanus Gaming. And Axios, if they go with the same plan as last time, it actually might work better because of people off site. Oh wait, and it definitely won't work because Japanese already dead.
We have Japanese got sent to the Shadow Realm on castle to start. I hope he got all his castles down. And Axios again keeping the trend going of just keeping it moving and keeping it high tempo and no nonsense. But I mean, they're able to do this. There's no barber, no traps, no anything. So they're just able to kind of get in there. But there is a shotgun primed and ready at the doorway. Flashbangs going out to deter the nearby mute.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the wall now, because the problem that they're standstill now because the wall has bandit batteries on it. Not bandit batteries, has an electrical on it, but it looks like, yeah, see the electrical on that game's wall, so that's where the standstill is now. They can't get open. Like Ike's gonna jump in a classroom and try and delete that or destroy that. Let's go from below as we're waiting for the rest of the attack play. There's play downstairs, the C4 from Kibbs waiting in primed as the who can see the call from his teammates to try and blow up one person maybe in games going for a plant. And there is the, of course, Darkin once more playing in either small dorm or playing an attic. So I'm interested to see exactly how the walls open. Can they make this happen?
I mean, we see the Habana actually holding big window, and again, it's kind of what you talked about earlier. They have the breaching tools to be able to take attic, or at least open it up. But the Habana is opting to just hold all 3x Kairos, and I mean, as Veros just kind of pushes in and takes out a player, I believe, in the hallway. That's the mute who's playing close with a shotgun. And I mean, yeah, the lack of barbed wire coming through again from Oceanus. He's able to just kind of peek the doorway and just absolutely smoke somebody, and no repercussion for it.
Yeah, it's interesting too. So actually a walkthrough right there as he walks right through Game's wall and takes out Exxon Vera. So 2 for the round. Big Sexy takes out Kibbs. There goes a player with the C4 from below. And now the plant goes out by Tom. And here they hold it. The one inside attic is Darkin with I guess 1 kill on a challenger. But now it's a 4v1 here for Darkin. He's got to make his way with what information does he have though this time, as there's no Valkyrie, no black guys out. I don't know if it's Dark as Evil Eyes in a good position, but it doesn't matter. Veras with 3rd kill for the round. We'll find Darkin attic and finish him off. Axios take the 2nd attacking round as we go to our last round of the half.
The 4-piece value McNugget for Veras, and honestly, he was kind of the MVP. And the four bomb to just kind of open that up, because I mean that's kind of what I was getting at before the action started. Was it's like they kind of slowed down because again they didn't really have a Thatcher, so they're vaulting into classroom, taking a good 20-30 extra seconds to IQ it off and IQ the Kate off and the wall denial off the wall, and to kind of keep the attack going, even though they started off with a lot of steam, a lot of energy. And yeah, they're just not really using Habana, but I mean, it doesn't really matter when you've got Mr. Varas on your team and he just murks everybody.
It's interesting too, yeah. So this time we go back to Laundry Supply for our last round of the half. We've seen them play 2 times so far. First time they lost it due to how the roam game was foiled immediately by Axios. And now we go, and the second time they try to go for a freezer and a main stairs take. And that did not go well because Oceanus game had those angles covered. They had all of the crossfires for that kind of take, and they played that very well. And this time now, we'll see plays different this time, because this time Axios bringing Challenger on the Montaigne.
There's going to be a Montaigne, and there's also going to be a Mira added into this equation. A lot less intel going to be coming out as the Jaegers kind of traded his bulletproof camera away, and it looks like Oceanus heard me before, lack of barbed wire. They are going to be bringing enough barbed wire this time. Barb and shields to hopefully impede the advance of the attackers. And looks like they're not going to be playing in meeting again after that ferocious first round. So, yeah, you're right. This Montaigne might be what Axios needs to kind of honestly get that freezer push going. But
yeah,
I still think
especially too because they could deny that crossfire from push from. If you deny the person crossfire from Laundry and they can push through, and they can deny the crossfire from Pillars, you can push through and make that same fight. But now this time the problem is though they have the mirror though watching that main stairs. So especially like yes they have less intel, but they still have the yokai. They still have information to be dealt here with the mirrors as well too. So it's almost like they're more suited this time to deal with the main stairs and freezer push than before.
Yeah, but like you said, that crossfire could still be problematic depending on how the gunfights kind of trade out. And looks like Varas again going to be going down that main stairs. This time on Zofia. No, never mind. He changed his mind. He said he's a hard one to predict. He just kind of goes for it.
Yeah, maybe they're still trying to drone out and figure out what they're gonna do next, because that's what 1x Kairos used on that drop down hatch into that hallway before laundry. Looks like he's gonna open it up. I don't actually call this, but it's this room before laundry actually. I don't know if it's called something else. It's laundry stairs, then you have laundry and laundry again? Question mark. But either way, more breaching tools used to open up all these hatches, and it's still gonna be that same play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to just be front and freezer with the Montaigne added. And I'm just, what can the Montaigne do here against the Mira to offset the defenders? I mean, there's no real misdirection unless, question mark, unless someone plops down this hatch here at the same time as the rest of the push.
Oh, there's also a mirror watching Freezer this time too. So last time they had this entire wall soft and they were using a crossfire from laundry, but this time they put a mirror on this wall too, and I just think it was a mirror watching main. This person in the corner here by the bomb chassis has their butt covered by the person watching main. So this is very difficult to do, though the Monty that will allow them to at least pass through. C4 comes out, will not kill Monty because he backs off and blocks it with the shields. Does take a bit of damage though.
I mean, the flashbang Monty, curious choice. But it's not going to allow him to be able to smoke this mirror off and push past it. As Veras, like I said, kind of hit it from the back, as I kind of anticipated he would do. The rest, six Big Sexy following up. Veras finding another, and Challenger trading the Japanadian. I guess he ADS'd him?
It was Japanadian to try and pull it back there, but he couldn't, as Veras, and I think it was Veras and maybe Challenger Big Sexy coming from a different angle, maybe from Big Tower at that point. And it seemed like Oceanus Gaming at that point had all their intent on that freezer and main stairs push, because the mirrors are there. You had the mirror main stairs, you had the mirror for freezer, and they did not expect for Veras to come from, as you said before, hit it from the back.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I knew that would have, I kind of saw him eyeing that hatch early on. I knew he was going to do something crazy. Like I said, you never predict that guy. He's always just kind of going for it. And I mean, that's the perfect moment to do it. Those guys are staring at mirrors, calling out the same thing. Probably he's freezer. But nobody expects him to
Nobody expects the last minute Zofia jumped down and just, that's really funny too, because he literally walked through sight, and the mirror, I think it was Japanese was holding that main stairs, and he hears one person die behind him. He doesn't turn around in time, and Veras is just there, right next to him.
Yeah, that was all Veras, because that attack was kind of stalling. It was just like, but then again, it could have been, that was the plan.
That was the intent. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
man,
was
they're gonna be looking at us through the mirrors. So
bait and switch.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really good from Ross, and he's honestly had a really good game. And the entry is, you get to look at the round history here. The Oceanus kind of losing the momentum a little bit, but that was defense. How are they going to translate to attack here? As they're going to be bringing one hard breacher, and they're going to be bringing Thatcher, kind of different from what Axios was doing.
Yeah, so we've seen Axios so far every single time except for most of their pushes seem to be intent on the main stairs freezer, but maybe they were doing that already just to try and throw Axios off, and that's why they never went for the construction or big tower push. Hard to say, but we'll see exactly what Axios this year on the defense and what exactly Oceanus Gaming brings to us on their attack, as I see 5 out of 5 attackers spawning here in construction.
Yeah, this looks like, would you say they're pushing construction, Benny? I think they're going to be pushing construction. I think they might go quickly
I think
here.
They're pushing construction already. Heavy damage on the Exile as he pre-fires through it, but Tom pre-fires back, so both of them take about the same amount of damage, and he'll back off for the moment, knowing that there's at least 3 or 4 members pushing that construction site, and they're playing this back corner of construction too with the shield, trying to burn those ADSs and destroy the shield.
I mean, that looked like Oceanus wanted to rush, but the bandit actually kind of just standing in the hallway kind of stopped it, as the sledge absolutely destroys the fan on the wall. A disgusting flick.
So the Vulcan shield goes off, and it actually delays them from pushing it, allowing for that last defender who was playing that spot to light reinforce that rotate. Now they can't go through that wall, but they're going to open up electrical wall instead. It looks like the bandit of Tom is trying to bandit trick, so they can't open up that other wall here in construction.
Yeah, they have wasted absolutely no time getting in through construction, but there honestly kind of has to be a little bit more happening here, at least. I would imagine. I mean, unless you do that, unless you just murk a guy through a bomb with the Pixel of the Century. That's a good start.
That's a very good start. It's Veros too, the guy who's been kicking butt so far here for Axios. He's gone. Darking with a great grenade on the Tom as well. So 2 kills here for him. Japanese though goes down to big sexy Ashes, gets darkened though in a refrag. It's 2 into a 3v3. It's still possible here for the attack, but still there's a lot of angles open too for them to look down as well with those ACOGs.
This is gonna be 1v1 central. It's gonna come down to who wins their ones on the crossfire angle setup, and Big Sexy starts it off with the win against Exod, who had low health, but that was a headshot anyway. Phoenix trying to take out the Maestro Cam and trying to trade his fallen Ash main, but it looks like Phoenix is going to have to push into a crossfire, and it looks like the Maestro Cam wasn't actually taken out. Ashes from the freezer absolutely blindsides Kibbs, and it's just the Zofia Phoenix, and he is literally in, I believe, a triple crossfire right now. Not fun.
No time left, really. This 40 well is not much he can do at this point. He's being pinged by them by Vivo Lycam. He's got someone on freezer with a crossfire. He's holding it from the open mirror, actually. So someone on Axios opened that mirror so he can hold the crossfire from freezer. Right from Axios right there. He put that, he walks in, actually downs the Maestro of Big Sexy, but Challenger will finish him off. Phoenix goes down, and there's Axios take their first defense win. And I would say, even though Axios didn't do that great in some of those rounds on attack, they ended the half at 3-3, which is actually pretty crazy here on Oregon, based on historical, at least historical stats so far in comp.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very interesting attack out from Axios, and honestly, an equally interesting start from Oceanus that just didn't quite work out the way they wanted. I mean, that was the most forceful blue take ever, but it was like, you know, it kind of fell apart there at the end. I mean, I imagine there were call-outs coming out on the Maestro cams that the attackers just couldn't quite seem to deal with, even though they were able to open pretty much the walls they wanted to open. It just didn't really, again, the lack of intel clearing. But
yeah, it's like utility clearing, but also just like how Oceanus pushed that forcefully, and then how Axios responded was really good though. They were playing construction that it was a Vulcan shield though, so it basically stopped them from pushing that corner inside of construction, allowed them to late reinforce, so they couldn't push that corner. At that point, they were just waiting for the push. Information they still had for those evil eye cams, and yeah, I would say if anything too, yeah, Oceanus needs to destroy those evil eye cams, get rid of the intel so they can't know when to peek. Because I'm pretty sure at that point Ashes, who was playing the Jaeger instead of Freezer, was given the intel knowing when to peek through that open mirror and get the kill onto, I believe, Kibbs, who tried to push through, go for a plant.
Yeah, it's just that intel game can be really powerful in those moments where it's just like, you know, the defenders have drawn their defensive set, or I guess their line in the sand, whatever you want to call it, and they've kind of establish their angles, and when they have cameras that highlight you in bright, you know, white hot, whatever Maestro's cam is, what is that, like infrared?
Yeah, it's infrared. I think it's heat based.
Heat.
Well, infrared
like,
heat based different. I guess that. I think it's just
yeah,
thermal.
it's like, I mean, basically, yeah, thermal. It's like this trivial. Yeah. It's so trivial to say, oh, he's on the door. Brr, someone pre-fires, the guy's gone. You know, it's so easy for the defenders to just do that, especially on this map. So those cameras have to be priority, and maybe they were for the attack, and just, you know, ultimately they just defenders won every fight on every angle. But kitchen dining.
Actually, no, it's double kitchen meeting. Kitchen meeting for our next.
Oh my god.
Kitchen meeting here. We actually haven't seen the site from either team until now. Well, I guess we need to. Well, I say either team. We haven't seen it from Oceanus so far. So now we'll see Axios play the site we haven't seen from Oceanus Gaming, and already, of course, this person is above trying to roam and try and deny a push through attic, and, you know, gain that vertical play on if they push through big tower and plants. And he's getting droned out already. Ash is already getting droned out by one person, and pushing big tower or big window as well, though. So coming from Armory, coming from big window, he's getting pinched by 2 attackers here from Oceanus.
Man, he has no idea where he wants to go. You see him just kind of trying to find somewhere to play a tight angle against this onslaught, but it looks like the push is when coming through from the white stairs. That's Exot on the Ash, and another player swinging through attic.
Oh, what? That was a good shot there onto Exot here from Ashes, but it's a crossfire here from the person in white. Veros was there, but it doesn't matter. It looks like Veros is left, though. Ash gets a kill on Exot. Phoenix takes out Ash's refrag, and Veros at that point is left. He doesn't want to support that endeavor anymore.
Man, what a clear from Oceanus to take control of kids. This is gonna make a kitchen plant plausible, but they actually haven't really pushed in from the west side yet, at least on the first floor. So I'm curious to see what the end game is for OCG. Are they going to try to push in and plant on that southeast split wall? That could be a possibility, as Thermite still hopefully has a charge left. He still has both charges, so a lot of options.
Yeah, there's a lot here they can do here. This is because they'll take control of... oh. That is not good to hear. Apparently that's a thing, but... either way, so at this point, they have to take control upstairs. They deny the roamer, so they can also control of attic and go for a plant through that big tower wall into meeting, as that was an unfortunate drop here from Big Sexy. Walks right into the death of Japanadian, who was playing that big tower stairs to the basement. And so at this point, they have a clear to go for a plant. As long as they clear out the hallway too, because you have one person, Veros, he's peeking through, he's slowly skulking his way.
And he's got the new freshly minted Echo with impacts. So he could potentially yeet a impact at the Thermite's head while he's trying to plant, but he does have an Echo drone or two up still, and he's going to be able to potentially snag a kill here on an unaware Thatcher player, but it looks like the Thatcher's watching that. No, the Thatcher just sprints by, but Veros just kind of shoots his shot at nothing and may have blown his chance at stopping this plant. He's taken out by Phoenix, and it's just Tom TXM, whatever you want to call him. He's able to down Japanadian, but he's got 3 more to find and 30 seconds to find him. Jiggle Peek's coming out. The Thermite tapping away at the angle. He knows the smoke's on. It looks like all the remaining attackers are actually getting pinged right now, but Smoke doesn't really have the kit to do this in 15 seconds. Looks like he's just going to be playing for the CGG at this point. Again, QEing on the angles, but not necessarily finding anyone. Slaps the life out of a drone, and he's out of time. It's going to be Oceanus tying the game up. Barring I don't know what the ruling's going to be with the kill cams.
Yeah, is that actually a thing right now? We need to get that cleared if the kill cams are still enabled, actually. Either way, so Oceanus Gaming now tying it up 4-4. A much better attack there. That was a pretty efficient roam clear. They went old machine, took the opportunity. Even though there's a cross between Veros and Ashes on that white stairs, they still were able to take out Ashes, still able to push Veros off of that white stairs and make their way through the house upstairs, take out the roam. They basically open attic and have that upstairs coverage for that plant between big tower and meeting. So great work from Oceanus. We'll see them go back to meeting kitchen for another try here from Axios. I'm interested to see what they do next.
I mean, that was also just a really good call to, actually finish the round out and not get 2vx'd, which we see happen so often on maps like this, but just a really clean ending. Able to get the bomb down, able to finish the round out, and yeah, back to meeting kitchen. Not kitchen, dining, meeting kitchen. And no Echo this time, curiously enough.
Yeah, there's no Echo on the board this time. Maybe they want Veros and a more. Actually, bring Veros on mute as well this time. So it's it seems like maybe it's a different lineup here, but overall it seems like it's the same exact setup though.
And the big question is, how hard are they going to be playing top? And we saw the Comanche roam clear come out from Oceanus, but is it going to happen again? Are they going to actually open themselves up to that? Are they going to actually play in kids? Which, you kind of have to, but you kind of don't. Like I said, on the other side, when it was kitchen dining, it's like you have to go above to take care of those mirrors and whatnot, but that's not what Axios is kind of doing. They're just playing off the Maestro. They've even sans the Echo, so playing above may not be worth much for the defenders. We see at least one player up there. It looks to just be I want to say the Jaeger just running around by himself.
Oh, it's a rush here from Phoenix. He gets 1 kill. He's going to trade up by his teammate, actually. But Tom above gets exiled, though, as he walks through that kitchen door, that dining door, and loses his life. And so far, that vertical coverage you said before may not play much, but in this coverage, it is actually playing. But it doesn't matter because Tom peeks and loses the dark end. So now a 3v3 and still 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, that was... both these teams clearly do not have any regard for their lives. They just kind of rush in and waste no time, and Thermite trying to go off, but Wall could be muted, and I'm not sure. Is he going for a bait and switch? Why hasn't he blown that charge yet? The Jaeger has rotated now to the freezer stairs, and he could find 2 attackers here, depending on their awareness level. Yeah, the charge finally coming out. wasn't a
Yeah,
huge
try to
hammer.
find coming out. I guess they were trying to at least wait for it before they make that push. But still, this pushing upstairs though, you still saw how there was one upstairs holding him. I think he's gone. He's actually dead actually now at this point, so he should be fine. But there's pings coming out. It's still the information game is so huge from Oceanus. They know where these attackers are coming from. There's a cross hit right here for Challenger tonight, but he's pushing through. And you also have one so that hallway to watch as well. So there's still a lot of work here to be done. Ashes gets one jab. Oh, his big sexy goes take out Japanadian. Darkin gets Ashes though and refrag. But into 1v2. Can he make his way through it? No, it's Challenger instead of security to finish off Darkin. Axios will take the lead.
I'm curious, he's actually running the AUG on IQ. He must really be a fan of Wamai. To what he's playing the gun on attack. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty good attacks coming out from Oceanus, but ultimately defenders just kind of held tight there. Like I said, like you said, the intel game still kind of running and prevailing here. We see the pinks coming out and people subsequently dying. So a little bit more attention need to be played to the at least the intelligence game here if you're the attackers. But
yeah, let's just see Oceanus. They did change things up. They tried to take out from dining in the kitchen instead. But again, we talked about that vertical play. That vertical play is also what stopped them and stalled them out from pushing into kitchen in the first place. So it did seem like at least that point the defense were prepped for that kind of take and it worked for them. Good work on Axios to deny the push in the first place. And overall, Oceanus, again, intel game they got to deal with, and roam clearing may actually need to do next time. But we'll be going to laundry and supply.
I don't did that Jaeger shoot the floor with his gun to create that destruction? Did someone just pump that one hole for that one opportune moment? Because I don't think there was actually a roam going on. He was just kind of up there by himself.
Oh no, the Jaeger wasn't upstairs. It was the smoke, I believe, or smoke or mute, one of them.
Maybe he shot it from below and shot up, and then Jaeger's just watching it. But that was just, it looked like they were going to be roaming. If there was a roam, it was going to be a light roam, and it was just, like I said, perfectly positioned from the Jaeger.
Yeah, I think it was just a very light roam, and they were just playing, because last time it was just the Jaeger by himself, but there was no resources put up there. It was just him by himself. So I think it's the same thing, but this time it worked perfectly because they pushed through from dining and kitchen, and they had that one hold to deny the push in the first place. Also, the team kill from Oceanus probably didn't help them either.
Yeah, that doesn't help, but I mean, they were Russian, so I mean, it happens. But yeah, back to the basement. Mirror coming out. Looks like there's gonna be a mirror put on that blue hallway facing into the corridor. And attackers, I mean, are they gonna try to brute force through blue again? If they do, they're gonna come across a mirror and potentially a Goyo. Oh my god, I thought he put the Goyo down in front of me for a second. But yeah, there is a Goyo and I believe a mirror facing this hallway. This is going to be pretty difficult to brute force.
Oh
he literally runs it in blind.
Yeah, they were really forcing this time as he's just trying to run through. Exile trying to make his way, but there's a mirror actually watching this push into construction rather than watching Freezer like last time. So there's actually a different take here from Axios. Rather than, late reinforcing and denying that rotate, they're going to watch that angle instead. Looks like they open up electrical this time. Cams go through, looks to see if they find anybody. In the end, the information game is so huge here from Axios. They're going to try and deny that game this time. But it's also rotate here from the attack. Looks like they're trying to maybe push main stairs while simultaneously pushing that blue construction take.
I mean, they kind of realize that they just try to push through this corridor on this mirror, they're going to have a bad time. And of course, there's probably a pretty decent crossfire set up in Freezer in the hallway, so they can't just brute force it. They can't just brute force this back push. They have to go from somewhere else, and that's where Mr. Exod on the Ash is going to try to get his first kill since the rehost.
He's gonna try alright. He's trying to. It's taking time to get the information, push that. Looks like they are gonna destroy this Evil Eye camp this time though, so that Evil Eye will not play a part. Ashes gets the first kill on the Phoenix, so to start us off though, pushing through electrical, loses that fight to the Jaeger, and he's playing that Pillar's hallway so very well with the Vulcan shield. And now coming down the stairs, there's Exile walking through, and the Maestro Pig Sexy trying to hold the angle, but he'll lose it out, and he'll see another through that soft wall. Freezer into Laundry, won't make the shots count, but still he'll scale those defenders, and there's a good shot from Dark and take on Frost. It's now 3v4. The was in the way of Oceanus, but unfortunately the Jaeger of Veros comes back as a kill. And now plant was going down. C4 will stop the plan for the moment, but they have control of this north side of site though. They're trying to make the plan happen, and I think there's at least a roamer trying to push through. It's Ashes coming from Big Tower.
As a trade's flying out, plant going down, but the plant stopped by the swinging bandit. But it's just Challenger and Darkin in a 1v1 situation with the timing kind of on the attacker side. Darkin's got plenty of time to work the angles and try to find out where this Goyo is, but looks like he's just kind of guessing with his grenades and hoping for a money shot. Flies over the head of Challenger, but backpack spotted. This could be huge for the Sledge. He has the intel he needs to kind of... Oh my gosh, what an awkward like timing that was for a moment, but Sledge ultimate able to win out that 1v1. I mean, that looked like the Goyo was about to catch him off guard, but ultimately Sledge looking
Yeah, I'm surprised
back.
the Goyo went for that fight though. Challenger, I guess that's his name, is Challenger. He's gonna challenge the fight, surprisingly, even though he could have had the advantage there.
Yeah, Mama didn't raise no. I'm trying to come up with a pun, but my brain's not.
Trying to cover the pun, but you can't. So
Mama raised a challenge. Yeah, Mama raised a challenger, not a hider. That's why it's his challenger. That's why it's his brand, because he's a challenger.
Either way, so Axios that round, it was a much messier round compared to before, because you had Exod on the flank trying to push through. He got the kill on the Maestro inside of Freezer, which kind of threw the guys inside of Laundry on Axios through off. They got into a panic because they're getting shot from Freezer. But Ashes makes a good decision, walks at mainstays, runs right into Exod, gets that kill to deny that, so they're able to at least respond. But at the same point, they still had all those angles open. They still denied Freezer as well, so the crossfire wasn't there as well for Axios anymore, allowed for Oceanus Gaming to really go for the push, take those fights, and win most of them.
Yeah, just a great recovery from the attackers there, especially at the end with the 1v1. But it looks like we're going to be seeing the same defense. I mean, we're not the exact same, but a similar defense setup with the Mira. It looks like they're shotgunning a rotate, which can only indicate they're going to put a Mira there, especially given the way Mr. Tom is reinforcing. Well, actually, no, I'm pretty sure one of these teams put a Mira facing Freezer on that wall.
Well, they did the first time. They didn't do it the second time. They put it here where Varus is now reinforcing. They put maybe they'll not put the one on main stairs this time, or in the closet facing main stairs.
Yeah, because it looks like, I mean, you saw, I mean, Exxon kind of got, wow, that's a new one. Just kidding, that's like ranked. That's like a ranked mirror, like everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it seems like this time they're trying to deny the blue push entirely and put all the resources this time. That's why they're gonna put it facing that construction door, and I wonder if it's gonna work out or not, or if maybe they're gonna pre-fire get the kill. And the bandits there. The bandits are there at least to deny one of the X-Kairos, but Dark gets the first kill onto Big Sexy to start us off, and there goes their Kaid. There goes Electric Claws.
And it looks like Axios honestly has no respect for Oceanus' ability to clear out and actually take in the meeting, because obviously that mirror would get taken out from the stage hatch like 10 out of 10 times, and OCG is not really interested in clearing the rest of the map, other than Exod kind of solo droning himself, which he's doing again this round. He's not going to be able to Ash open a hatch, so hopefully someone goes with him. Looks like the Thermite is.
Well, they did get the hatch open because they Thatchered open that hatch anyway. The mirror with those X-Kairos of Phoenix, but Phoenix is dead already. He gets Varus C4 in the face, so there goes one of your hard breachers. As you still have one more from Kivs, the Thatcher still maybe has EMPs to open up another wall, as they still play in this angle though for construction, so it's still very difficult to push this corner of construction as there's a mirror and there's a Vulcan shield in the way.
Looks like one grenade gone out to take care of that Vulcan, and like I said, the Mira is still very much at large. So it's going to be... I mean, is someone going to win that gunfight against Mr. Tom on the Mira? I'm not so sure.
They late reinforced it actually too. I think they late reinforced it too actually. So there's a mirror there, but there's actually both reinforced walls.
Wow.
Oh, and there's... Ooh, that's a great band trick there here from Tom. He'll get rid of one of those external charges, pushing into storage.
How did he just get away? Then he goes back. He goes back for more. This guy.
Oh, he could do this time though.
No regard for anything. No regard for his own safety. He just did that twice, but he didn't get the charge that time.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second time didn't work. They got the wall open, but still, it wastes so much utilities, wasting time on top of anything too here for Axios. Varus takes some heavy damage, though, as they're pushing through into storage. Looks like he's trying to make a butt peek, but Dark gets the kill on Ashes. Another play off the board here for Axios, and the plant's going down from Kivs as he's trying to go for that plant right at the doorway. Another player down as well. Tom goes down. Challenger is on the floor. It's just Varus in a 1v4. No, it doesn't matter. It's Exod to get 3 kills and finish off that round. Oceanus Gaming now in the lead.
I mean, Exod executed him. The 3-piece at the end. I mean, yeah, that was... I mean, that bandit... the lack of regard and recklessness.
Yeah,
I mean, he kind of needed to do that though, because we saw once they got that wall open, the angle Darkin was holding onto the rotate hole was just. I mean, he's apparently the master at just fighting those angles. We saw the nice shot on the bomb earlier, and he's continuing to do it that last round. And I mean, Kibbs, he planted, didn't he? He doesn't have a kill,
Kibbs did plant the freezer. It was so also Exod with a really good flank through freezer in the perfect timing. Nobody expected it.
I mean, that means Kibbs actually gets 5 kills because he planted.
Oh yeah, that's
worth 5 kills at least.
Not bad. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that was really good work from Axios. They started that really well. They were denying a lot of time, but also on Oceanus Gaming to late game calls, to make the rotations, to make those plays, and send Exod to go flank because nobody was in freeze anymore. They fully reinforced freeze at that point, they fully reinforced freeze at that point too. So it allowed for Exod just to walk through the door and take out Tom, who was bandit tricking before too.
Yeah, I mean, just Exod's really thriving in that lurk role.
So on to match point here for Oceanus Gaming. Can they finish up their map in a regulation, or will they have to go to overtime? As we go back to our meeting and kitchen defense here from Axios. Last time though, it was a rush from Oceanus Gaming. The first time it was a really good push, a really good roam clear the top floor, and able to make that plant, on that big tower side.
Yeah, it was stopped. That rush was stopped in his tracks, but I don't know. Are they gonna just kind of go straight for that north stage push? Because it seemed like, that was really clean. Given circumstances are a little different, but I'm still thinking back to that round where they were able to plant on stage late round without any sort of hiccup. It is just the plant went down and they controlled the angles. They could do that without rushing. It seems like.
Well, they rushed upstairs and they roam cleared last time too when they had that same round. So as long as they do that again, they roam clear efficiently and deal with people inside of the site. Like the first player here, it's Ashes already dead. Exit gets the first kill and he executes perfectly. Another player on white stairs like last time, or maybe Veros again playing the Echo on the white stairs. He pushes through and loses the fight to Darkin, who pushes from that from a big window actually. So already within the first 30 seconds, roamers are dead.
Both these teams are just clearing so aggressively in the first minute. It's almost impressive, as they're already going to be breaching the floor in kids with 2 players dead on the defense. This is looking like OCG all the way, but we've seen crazier man disadvantage, clutches, so it's possible for the defense, but they got to make something happen here.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like Axios needs to get aggressive at this point. You have already a challenger walking up those white stairs trying to take a fight. Exo here watching for someone upstairs, and there's the upstairs control already gone as challenger takes out Phoenix. And so at this point, they could try and retake upstairs for OCG if they need to take that. At this point, I'm gonna see that because they're almost rotating around as they're trying to push through garage instead. They're re-droning upstairs as they've lost control of it too. So Oceanus Game at this point have to see what they're gonna push and see what their the decision's gonna be.
And it's potentially just left that camera for the flank watch as Japanadian is taken out across the map, and they're going to be opening that southeastern split wall, which I thought they would do before, but they're actually going to be doing it this round. The castle almost finding another onto the sledge of Dark in the top fragger for Oceanus, but question is, the smoke's already used 2 of his canisters. They could theoretically go for a plant on that southeastern wall. Yeah,
I don't know if there's anybody on the side of Axios that could deny the plant and split like that. There is still smoke canisters. I believe at this point you saw Tom with actually no more smoke canisters. He just threw his last one inside a split. But they have both walls open. It's Big Sexy playing in the hallway, gets 1 kill on the Darkin. Another play pushing through, and he'll win that fight again. Big Sexy with another kill on the caves. It's now just Exod in a 1v2 actually. Takes out 1 player inside. It's Tom going down. But time is 24 seconds left. They have control of the diffuser, but Exod is trying to win this game right now in regulation. He's gotten 3 kills for the round. Can he get his 4th and close it out? And he walks through the hall. Pre-fires come up from Big Sexy. Try and stall for time. And Exod trying to make his way, find his way to the diffuser. Beeps come out though, so now he exactly knows where he is. Big Sexy has the advantage here, but he's actually low HP as well too. He's gonna pre-fire, keeps pre-fire, but stops at the last second, allowing for Exile to re-peak and win this out. Oceanus Gaming 7-5 here on their side, on the map of Oregon though. They want to win this at the regulation. Good half.
Kind of said it earlier on with Exod. I mean, he just went full 2012 LeBron on Axios. There's no way around it. That round was all him, all on his shoulders, just schmurdered those guys up. And good googly moogly.
Yeah, I would love to see the full stats for the entire game. Unfortunately, we had a rehost, so I can't see the full stats. But Darkin on that second half after the rehost, 12 kills though. Exiled at 8, but it doesn't matter because Exiled had a lot of impact kills. He was there in the moments they needed him to deny defenders who could have killed the planter, who could have done those things. But guys, we'll be back with the second map in a little bit. It will be Consulate, that is Axios' map pick. So we'll see you guys in about, what, 10 minutes?
Maybe.
Something like that.
How about 8 minutes? How about
Something
instantly
like
when you see the spot, it's going to be instant. It's going to be an instant cut. Maybe.
We'll see you guys in a little bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from our 10-minute break. We had a pretty stacked first map, 7-5 in the favor of Oceanus Gaming. It was their map pick, but if you guys don't know, it's Oceanus Gaming versus Axios here for third and fourth place in Canadian Challenge League. And so with that first map down, we're gonna go towards our second map, which is Axios pick of Consulate. But let's go over that first map. Let's go through some of the rounds and see what happened between Axios and Oceanus Gaming. It was 7-5. It was a clutch from Exxon, a 1v3 to win him out that last round. But let's talk about how it went first half. You had the first half defense from Oceanus Gaming. It actually ended up 3-3. Axios actually they actually picked attack, and it seems like they picked attack for a reason, knowing the way the attacks here in Oregon. Even Oregon so far, historically, statistically, has been defender-sided. Axios was able to end the half at 3-3. Why do you think that, Cookies?
I mean, Axios had trouble closing out a lot of rounds from what I can remember. And I guess they also had some interesting, like not bringing the Thatcher, I don't think at all, compared to Oceanus bringing it all 6 times. So despite all of that, for them to be able to actually split 3-3 was actually kind of impressive. But I mean, like I said, it was really good. It was really good for Axios to start when they absolutely destroyed that meeting hold from Oceanus to start, and it just kind of, like I said, it just didn't really. Some rounds they were able to finish, and some rounds it just, they just weren't all there.
Yeah, we had the first one where they cleared spectacularly on that meeting Rome here from Oceanus, and then 3 rounds after that, they weren't able to take any rounds. They lost attacks over and over again when it came to downstairs, when it came to upstairs, when it came to that dining and kitchen area. It just seemed like they weren't figuring out what to do for these attacks. Of course, one round, they lost Challenger because of disconnect. That was unfortunate. But then they took that last 2 rounds and they're able to make it work even after all the changes. Because you had that first thing, you had that same freezer take, but Veros, but I favorite that same freezer, main stairs take that didn't work the first time. Then they have Veros come from main stairs, go from backstairs, from big tower stairs, go for that flank and actually make that work on that downstairs defense. It's surprising. It's something that you wouldn't do, but it's like, I guess it's that kind of that strong suit from Axios to make the same play but change it just a little bit to throw Oceanus off.
Yeah, I mean, Veros, especially in that attack half, was huge. He's instrumental. He was a huge part of the reason they were able to have such good tempo on the attack. Almost every attack that they did. I mean, both teams were just like lightning bolts on the entry, at least. And ultimately, both of them really, if they can kind of equalize their late round decision making and kind of clean it up, they've definitely got some pretty enticing looking attacks.
Yeah, we had
Both
the last
teams.
attacking round from the side of Oceanus. Well, not attacking round, the defensive round from Oceanus on their half, and they were playing that upstairs defense and still able to make it work here for the side of Axios. They really played it up well, and it really excites me how well teams can really figure things out and play effectively every time around. And then we go on to the next half. We go into the attack of Oceanus Gaming versus Axios, and as you said before, Oceanus Gaming as well, they made some clears immediately. They were clearing stuff just as fast, especially on that upstairs roam. That wasn't really a real roam because they didn't put any resources, but they still had people, white stairs inside of kids, inside of attic, playing aggressive, playing that roam game to maybe waste time or have a vertical play, but they still did clear really quickly.
Yeah, and I think the difference for Oceanus was honestly, probably the Thatcher. They didn't have nearly as many quick starts and then like a hiccup and then a crazy finish. It was just like they would either like rush in, and I remember the round they rushed in and just kind of got stopped at the kitchen door. It's like it's a lot more of a straight train for Oceanus, at least for one or two more rounds. It was the case, and they were able to finish out the game 7-5.
Yeah, it was super surprising. I'm definitely excited to see the fact that Oregon was more. Let's see, they ended 4-2 on their attack half, or what did they end? Actually, no, they ended at they ended at 4-2 on the attack half, didn't they?
Yeah, thanks to 1v3.
Yeah. Exile at 1v3 at the end, they're able to end their attack. So they had 4 attacking wins. Oceanus did. So that Oregon game was attacking sided compared to all the Oregons we've seen in EUL and NAL. So definitely surprised to see that they teams can flip heads. I know that we talked before like how sure, maps have the historical statistics that are attacker and defender sided, but it's more about the teams and their attack, how they do against each other.
Yeah, and the bans too. Most of those defender sided Oregons were like Maverick Thatcher bans. There was a Maverick ban in the last game, but having the Thatcher up definitely absolutely sped up a lot of those rounds, and definitely probably led to these teams having a lot more confidence than what you would see out of most of these teams who are going in against Thatcher bans and Maverick bands and kind of stalling out. It's like we talked about earlier. It's like there's 3 maps. It's Caféville, Oregon, where there's just like and sometimes the engine just stops running for the attackers, for no good reason.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even through a fault of their own. The engine just stops running, and it's just like it gets rough. But yeah, it's definitely like bans, I think, that has more to do with the fluctuation.
Yeah, I would say like the bans. Like, it's interesting too. The fact that they didn't ban Echo, really, they didn't ban Mirror. They banned what it was Clash, and they banned So it was a much different take here from both teams when it came to banning things. I'm not sure if they're target bans or if they're specific to Oregon bans at that point. But the fact that you still had Maestro available, you had Valkyrie available, you had Echo available. It made things different, but it didn't seem like it sometimes that they didn't bring Echo all the time. Too surprising, even though how strong Echo is in the current meta.
Yeah, I would say the cleanest round was when Defenders brought, I don't remember which team, but Defenders had brought in Maestro, Echo, and like a bunch of bulletproofs. And I'm like imagining that as an attacker. Like there is very few mathematical situations where that's actually going to go out in favor of the attackers. You're going to be on cam in a critical moment. And when you're on cam in a critical moment, we saw as well in that game, that is something where as a defender, that's why you spend all those hours on the T-Hunt. That's why you spend all those hours in the aim lab. So that when someone gets a big red ping right here, center mass, it's swift deletion. And I think the intel game is definitely going to come into play here, especially on Consulate.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what the bans are for Consulate too, because we usually see Nomad bans, Valkyrie bans, Echo and Maestro. That information, especially there, especially because that vertical play of C4 is so strong in Consulate too. So having the intel available and not banning it out could prove to be fatal for either team. Really, we saw both teams using intel so well every single round.
Yeah, it was definitely that was the one common thing in the defense was everyone was just pinging, popping left and right. That's probably how almost 90% of those kills went out, was just, and how most of the time the defenders were able to lock out the rounds was just because they just had better intel than the attackers did. And it was, it's like I said, it's pretty hard to deal with. These guys, people like to sleep on Canadian players, but most of the guys in this lobby can shoot with the best of them, especially, we saw Hexod there at the end. Good Lord.
Yeah, Exod we saw. Well, Exod didn't manage kills Darkin, but still, Exod had some really good impact kills, especially when it came to downstairs defense and upstairs at clutch on that 1v3. He attacked from freeze that one round, able to kill all the defenders who were delaying the attack from going for that plank because they're playing behind that storage, that bookcase. So I'm interested to see how they go too. Veros, of course, from Axios was the main culprit when it came to killing Oceanus Gaming. So we have those entry fragments, seeing them excel. Can they keep excelling though in this best of 3? How the stamina still keep them going as we go to Consulate for Axios' pick? It will be actually, I think, is Axios not attacking him? I think. Yeah, I think Axios attacking, aren't they? On this map, pretty sure.
Pull up
So it'd be interesting to see what Axios does because they're attacking once again to start us off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just coin flip is not going in their favor, is it? They just love attacking. Maybe that's. I mean, honestly, the way that they play, they probably love attack because they looked so comfortable. At least initially, they would just burst in there. And I mean, honestly, on a map like Consulate, it's like, there's a lot of opportunities for that. Just kind of explosive plays on the entry to start rounds. On all the sides.
Especially too, it's kind of how you play Consulate because if you dilly outside too much, you don't take the time. It allows for the defenders to position themselves in those positions where you entry as well. So I'm assuming that they're gonna explosively make their way into Consulate, not allowing for Oceanus Gaming to make those aggressive plays and to play off intel or anything, because they need to play like that, especially when it comes to Consulate and you got those, the spawn peaks, so you got people playing below with C4s. You gotta play quick. You gotta play on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I guess we can talk about the bans a little more. The Capital ban that came out last map. We're gonna see it again on this map because let me tell you, you combine the aggression that these teams are playing with the map with an operator like Capital being left up and a map like Consulate, we're looking at some nasty yellow takes that might come out from both teams. We're looking at some garage rushes that might come out. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to ban Wamai too, just in that counter as well. They're gonna ban Wamai in response to losing Capital if that happens.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how these teams attack on this map because, like I said, if they're able to attack and make it look interesting on Oregon, oh boy, this is going to be a treat as Oceanus gets first ban. Who's it going to be?
Assuming it'd be a Nomad, Capital, or Thatcher off the board. And there it is. Oceanus Gaming takes out Thatcher. So there's your first Thatcher ban for this best of 3. No more EMPs, and we saw how powerful it was for them, but they know how powerful EMPs in general can be for any team.
I mean, they were the team running Thatcher, and they banned him. And Axios, interestingly enough, banning out Maverick, didn't ban out the Nomad or the Gridlock. I mean, honestly, maybe they felt like they should keep it up because they are indeed attacking first. So, Pulse, curiously enough, going to go away as well. I mean, we've seen how strong Pulse can be on especially lobby, just playing through those hatches, C4ing up to deny plants, and also on Archives, where he's almost a must pick. So it's going to make those two sites a lot harder to defend.
Oh,
and finally...
Yep, Echo banned out makes sense how powerful he was the last game for both teams, really. So I see him gone makes total sense. But now it's Mirror on the board, and Mirror for that, that split site is pretty powerful. And now Capital and Wamai are available, and now that yellow take can be probably a lot more. It could be difficult, but also could be countered by Wamai and Jaeger.
Yeah, and we're almost certainly going to be seeing Wamai Jaeger coming out, and we are going to the top floor, and Oceanus continuing their trend of running Castle. They ran a lot of Castle in Oregon, and they're going to continue to do so. And it looks like Axios not taking the bait. They're not going to be bringing the Thermite to start, curiously enough. So if this was a basement site, they would kind of be up the creek with just a Habana, but the Clash going to be 6th from Mr. Kibbs. But otherwise, no 6-bit coming out from the attackers. They're going to be sticking that Habana, and they guessed right. They are going to be going. They have
you see the sledge is on board. I'm assuming you bring the sledge for the grenades, but at the same point, it's like if you know they're going upstairs, you bring the Habana because you assume they're going top floor. Why not bring the Capital as well?
Entirely possible they don't want to go yellow stairs, and if they do go yellow stairs with this lineup, you're right. What were they thinking? Not bringing the flames, but then again, I mean, these teams scrim more than I have in the past 6 months. Maybe Wamai and Jaeger is just too much to deal with on yellow stairs while bringing a Cap. It's possible.
I don't know. You just gotta recreate what Latam did and throw like 18.
Yeah, I was about to say it's possible, but then again, the attackers can absolutely, if they want, at a singular point, they could pretty much deal with Wamai and Jaeger as long as they're all at one singular.
Well, yeah, they already have 3. They have 9 right there. If the Veros as well has the impact and concussions, they have enough to deal with all of Wamai's and Jaegers they need to. But we'll see what happens if this goes in. We'll see if they push. But one thing, 2 Kibbs jumping off the mirror, jumping onto a Clash too. If the Clash is used well enough too, they can easily deny a push up yellow too with the Clash.
Yeah, especially with no Capital. So I mean, there's no way that Zofia is gonna whip out the launcher and what, shotgun the Clash with their impacts on the L-stairs. Not much of a push that can happen there, and it looks like that's what they're going to go for. I mean, Ross, if he plays like he did last game on attack, he might be the one to be able to take on a Clash frontally. Who knows?
It's interesting to see too. So you have Ross opening up the windows by benchers, maybe to push downstairs. I don't know if there's any roamers here. It doesn't seem there's any roamers from Oceanus Gaming playing downstairs. Most of them playing on the site. It's just the Clash on the board too. They can use that mobile mirror just to take fights with anybody. And say that the Clash actually has their shield down. The moment they're on it back.
The Clash is swinging. I mean, Kibbs didn't have a kill last game, I don't think. So maybe he's gonna get his kill today. Nah, probably not. He's probably not gonna get a kill on Clash, but I mean, who knows? He might 1v5 on Clash. They are committing to this West Side take, CEO take, but oh my lord, Japanadian with the worst gun in the game against one of the best guns in the game on the rappel as well. But he's instantly traded by the Nomad. From Big Sexy through the floor.
Great decision making there from Big Sexy to find out that angle is open on the hatch and get rid of the one player inside of console office. The Clash is still there though, so the Clash is still probably an issue if they try to jump right into console. There's these air jabs being placed downstairs to deny a push. There is a roamer downstairs, but there is nobody for the moment from the side of Oceanus Gaming. I think that air jab didn't go the right way. Phoenix takes a lot of damage. It peeks out the person repelling. And so far at this point, it is a bit of a stall from Oceanus Gaming, but it's very difficult to push down. And an aggressive play from Exile. He'll rock right down, take out Big Sexy. He's going to run out the door of yellow as well. Probably going to kill in place of repelling. But it looks like he's waiting for it too, and he knows he's waiting for that push. He'll take a lot of damage. He's down to 1 HP, and he'll back off for the moment.
Wow, when Jaeger losing his speed actually is a buff. And the Zofia Veras is off the Percocet, the Perk 5 trillion, as he repels an upside down and trades Exile. He downs them all. Another player is being picked up, but no, Veras he didn't actually down the Jaeger. I think he got reset, curiously enough. But I mean, that's new, resetting in 2020. But
yep,
Tom finds Exile, but the Clash is still at large, and this is going to be quite the obstacle for these last two attackers.
Yeah, Challenger and Tom have a large task ahead of them trying to get rid of this Clash, and Phoenix and Kibbs, or Phoenix and Darken. Darken, I think, still has 2 more toxic cancers, so so much utility still on the side of these defenders to deny a push from both Tom and Challenger. So we see that here goes Challenger jumping right into bathroom. Who's gonna greet first? He's gonna walk right to the yellow stairs. He's getting shots from far behind though as he pushes through. Smoke canister denies him from long distance, but through the smoke, Phoenix with a great shot at Challenger, and Phoenix with the last kill onto Tom as well. And that's Oceanus Gaming to take their first round here at Consulate.
Yeah, kind of went as expected. No Capital trying to push up yellow stairs. Exod just says, "What are you guys doing?" Swings down and goes for the run out kill as well, but doesn't get it. Gets lit to 1 HP. But honestly, there was just not much momentum in that attack kind of from the get-go. And defenders, I mean, kudos to them for having to set up to counter that. And question is, we're going archives now without the pulse, but we are seeing likely, I mean, if it's Oceanus, they're going to be bringing plenty of bulletproofs. We saw in Oregon.
Yeah, the information game is going to be most important here, so they can deny that plant. So we've seen teams before in EUL and NAL. And a lot of times they'll open up that entire floor in V's office. They'll play below with C4s, use those mirrors to, try and deny any push from, that garage side to them. And so we'll see what happens as they push this. Kip saying he had a kill. You didn't have a donut, but I don't know. You had a donut on our side. I'm just saying.
No, he said he had a kill. And you know what? I mean, he got his plant. Remember, the plant counts as 5 kills.
Oh, my bad.
So he had 6 kills. So
he had 6 kills.
I don't even know what he's tripping on. Like, he did his job. Relax, Kibbs. But yeah, so we are seeing 1 bulletproof and 3 Valkyrie cameras and 2 Maestros. Plenty of intel to initiate destruction upon that teller's office floor.
Yep. Looks like they're reinforcing garage as well to try and make it not as difficult. So usually we see most things put mirrors over by archives, pointing towards, blue, pointing towards kitchen, pointing towards this big hall, these pipes hall. But instead, Phoenix is going to play more aggressive, put it inside a small office like you do for a garage kitchen defense. So interesting enough, there's much more extended hold here from Oceanus Gaming to deny that, maybe that rush through garage. And we'll see what happens as a lot of defenders, our attackers here are already pushing up to Vista office. Nobody usually plays on this floor usually. Maybe 1 player will play on the stairs by Visa.
And honestly, this knock, is he gonna plant with knock in this site? That would actually be absolute genius. They're gonna rush straight into Visa and try to plant with the knock under all these cameras. Keep in mind, though, that Maestro has that little vigilant-like effect as one of the Maestros is taken out. So that might be what disrupts this knock plan.
Oh,
that's a bad start.
Yep, that's a down on Varus already, but the diffuser is going down here. Exile gets the kill on the Varus, so finishes them off with that Evil Eye. And now they're hearing it go on, but they can't deny it because just as I said before, those cams, they can't see Knock with her ability on. That. And now we see the rest of the defenders trying to make their way up, but those air jabs are so powerful to deny a push up Visa stairs. And so all the attackers now have positions to wait for these defenders to make their way back to site.
The rough thing is that might be a really difficult bomb to post plant, depending on the angle from the Visa window. It's pretty much on Challenger here because... Oh wait, never mind. There's actually a repel, but that castle window might stop that player from... I mean, the defuse has to start anyway here in the next 0.2 seconds.
Oh,
but Ashes finds 2, and oh my word, is this diffusing? No, he hasn't actually started the defuse, and it's gonna be the knock plant working out. The ace denied, but he almost aced and planted.
Yeah, that was pretty painful right there. He has to go for the defuse, but the wall is soft, so that allows for Ashes just to pre-fire through it, take out as many defenders as he can going for that counter defuse, and Oceanus Gaming will lose that to Axios, tying it up at 1-1. Ashes. The knock was, or the, I think it's Nook is actually pronounced it, but either way, that was perfect planning from Axios.
That and like, oh my, I think he may have also thrown a soft grenade to stop the defusal as well. Because I was thinking like the only one that can really look at that and like stop it is someone who's physically in Visa, which there was nobody, or someone outside the window, which I mean we saw the sledge got smoked, but the knock, I want to say between the sledge and the knock, someone threw a soft grenade. And I think that's kind of what force those guys to not stick to defuse and ultimately find some way to clutch that out. Yeah, just an amazing
yeah, that was amazing. Like that was like we've seen EU and LA teams do it all the time, and usually the defense wins that out because unless like you see the attackers go downstairs, like we saw always OXG when they played on the site against SSG had those mirrors facing, you know, pipes, hallway facing kitchen. They tried to play. Actually, no, I'm thinking about Joe. Actually, Joe played for Velas on this map. And Velas were playing downstairs. Joe goes for the plant, but then yeah, so Joe, the attackers go downstairs, killed the defenders as they threw the C4 pop.
I mean, but the knock is just the ultimate circumvent. Whoever came up with that strat is a genius. And about time someone like has planted with knock in a game like that I've casted at least. Most people just don't even think about it.
They're just dodging or just trying to evade the C4, going to, you know, jump on top of the table, jump on top of the, you know, the ledge, trying to evade the C4s, bait them out. But no, that was a perfect play because all the information you can't see the knock planning. So great work from Axios. Let's see how they take this next site. We'll go downstairs to the kitchen and garage. Looks like they're trying to maybe go for a roam clear of this first floor. Looks like one player is inside a bathroom. That's the first player that maybe they're trying to deal with.
And once again, the trend of just pushing in with no fear continues. The Ash already holding the cutoff of Phoenix. Within the first 30 seconds, you can't make this up. The mute's already effectively neutralized. Can't drop. Ash is just staring at it already. So he's got to go for a push, which he lights up 2 players, but doesn't kill either. That's tragic. The same amount of damage dealt to both. No kill.
At this point, they know that Phoenix is still in the bathroom. Looks like they tried to clear it with, you know, they tried to drone it out, but they didn't see him. But he's in the other corner by the door, and the mute gemmer was there, so they couldn't truly drone it out. But he's still now there, and they're trying to bait him out and deal with him. He's just in the stall. Is he actually going to leave, or is he trying to take a fight here? He has a shotgun for his engagement, but at this point, it looks like they're trying to just watch it and see if it'll come through as they open up the floor, and they have this vertical play on site. C4 comes out, won't kill anybody, unfortunately.
And curiously enough, no holes there on that bathroom door. So the Zofia is going to be able to push in. But it looks like a... What the heck just stunned him? I thought that was an Elamine thrown, but he's stunned. But the mute's going to find 2 players, 3 players. It looks like he's down to 3rd, though. But this is all but a loss for Axios, barring a...
Oh, he's running away, trying to get a 3rd kill, but he won't be able to get that 3rd down, or at least confirm that 3rd kill, and he'll get killed by Big Sexy in a refrag, but Tom gets 1, but Kibbs will take out Ashes, so now it's a 2v2 with only a... Well, actually, I say only, there's a minute left still. There's a lot of time on the board for the attackers here for Axios. They have a lot of time to work with.
And Kibbs just went for the downed player and traded his life for it. Whether that was worth it, we'll see. I mean, at least he got his kill, right? The wall didn't get open, though, so it's going to be still difficult for Axios to kind of pull this out. Because Big Sexy's kind of looking for that Cade. It's going to be about 25 seconds left with that wall opened. And Thermite's still droning.
Yeah, he's not sure what he's doing. He's going to open panels 1 and 3, it looks like, with those exothermic charges. And upstairs control is here in the champs of Big Sexy, but still, there's not a lot of coverage here for Tom to go for a plant. He's kind of like all alone going for that push. As Big Sexy, I'm surprised that nobody from the defending side trying to go upstairs and deal with Big Sexy at all, but it looks like they're just waiting for that plant. And I think there's no C4, so there's no indirect denial here from the guys of Oceanus Gaming to deny this plant. Oh, looks like he's trying to put down a air jab, deny a push, and shots come through, and there's the plant going down. But it doesn't matter, he actually walks on white stairs too far. The way he goes on right Van gets denied by Darkin, so now it's just a 1v2 and not enough time left, and he gets killed anyway by Darkin. So Oceanus Gaming with their second defense win, making it 2-1 in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Intel Gang coming into play here again, because he probably didn't plant behind white because he was getting spotted by the bulletproof right there under the yellow stairs landing. Which, you know, when that big "you've been spotted" pops up on your screen, it causes, you know, lapses in your judgment. Maybe he could have planted behind white, but he's probably so used to dying when "you've been spotted" pops up on us. Yeah, like, so he's just like, I gotta run, and even though he didn't have to, there were, like he said, there were no C4s. So technically, he could have planted white and been fine.
Yeah.
And if the Nomad had actually shot her air, like, you saw how he said, "Oh, the default's up," but he didn't actually shoot the air jab. That would have prevented the swing. I mean, it's late round decision making.
It's hard to do. It's a hard choice at that point, especially when you get spotted like that and you have to make choices. It's very difficult for players. Maybe if the Nomad was outside and you could cover it from outside from the garage, it could have been different. But still, very difficult plan. It's a 2v2. Good tries to Axios to make that work, but Oceanus Gaming will make that work for them, and we'll go back upstairs to console and projector.
And we're seeing the clash again, and no capital from the attackers again. So, I mean, they've either got to switch up the push or hope for mistakes from Oceanus, because, I mean, just on the surface, there's no real reason Oceanus to lose this round either.
Yeah, last time they made this push, they made it through yellow. They tried to take this fight. It's still the same lineup here from Axios, so even if they try the same yellow push, they still could run into the same issue. Especially Exile just, you know, taking fights. Maybe this time they get someone watching from the scout, so Exile can't just walk down yellow stairs and take fights like that. Hard to say. But as I say that, most of the attackers here spawning on the V side, looks like they're trying to go for an admin take into projector instead.
As they should, because like I said, if they were going to go to yellow for yellow again, they were just going to lose again. So they said, all right, we'll put this clash in a much more open environment, even though it's still, the strat looks like it's actually set up towards admin anyway. It's just the bonus of being able to also hold yellow with the player like Exod. And yeah, they're going to be attacking from the opposite direction, but they still have to contend with this clash.
Yeah, that's how this clash was just instrumental in just delaying time and just causing panic inside of for Axios. So at this point, they're going to jump right through. There's nobody really playing admin or printer, though, so they can tuck right in. He walks and looks through long. Doesn't see anybody from above, but there's a shield right behind him. The shield's scary, and the clash is there, too. So there's two different see-through objects that allows for someone like Phoenix to play around and maybe go for kills if he needs to. Darkin playing inside a projector. Takes a bit of damage, though. Looks like he's trying to sit in projector by himself, but he has no shield anymore. So this is kind of a scary position here for the smoke of Darkin.
And it looks like his table was also destroyed. Looks like dinner's canceled. Look at that. Not able to hide behind the table anymore. And it looks like that's probably why he got a chunk of his health taken away from explosion. So it's like he's got nowhere to hide in projector as Japanadian's taken out. That's the castle and the long angle from the Visa stairs. And there's no barbed wire on that door either. And again, the smoke does not have anywhere to hide. So this is going to be pretty difficult for Darkin. If he's able to find some way, nope, he doesn't. He's dead. And that's site control for Axios. But the Wamai and the Jaeger of Exod and Phoenix trading those kills back, reeling around back into control for the defense. But as I say that, Exod's taken out by Varos. That's ironically his first kill, but he's going to walk right into connector, exposing himself to Phoenix. A 2-on-2 now, and the clash still up.
It's looking good here for the defense with the clash still alive, but at this point it's Phoenix playing inside a waiting room looking for a kill, and it looks like they're able to deny. The big thing right here is the information. How much information they get from Kibbs playing the clash here allows for Phoenix to position himself for the take when it happens. So here comes the Habana of Tom, trying to peek through, quick peek, but doesn't make the flash and loses the fight, but now it's a 1v1 as Challenger takes out Phoenix. It's a 1v1 is a clash versus the Sledge. The Sledge doesn't have the diffuser. for the moment. So the fuser's on the floor, and you can deny that pretty much. Grenade comes out trying to push back the Clash. A bounce off actually will do damage to the Clash of Kibbs, but not be able to kill him. He takes the diffuser and trying to rotate around. He still sees the Clash though. He's gonna go for the plant. But what Kibbs do now is he walks through, and he almost fell down the hatch. That was a scary moment. The Clash actually go through. He actually gets off the plane. He's trying for the bikini body, but he waits at the right moment. Challenger wins that fight against Kibbs and Axios Esports. They'll take another round. They're tied up 2-2.
Unfortunately for Kibbs, he honestly had too much time to kill, because that's the worst thing as a Clash when you've got almost 2 minutes to kind of contend with someone. Kind of forces you to pull the gun out, because otherwise, I mean, surprised the Sledge didn't do it earlier. He literally could have just kept running at him until he ran out of charge.
Yeah.
But
I guess the one thing with Axios attack is Axios so quick that they have so much time in these late moments.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. They 20-second meta. Who? These guys, you saw the Zofia like peek down the long haul with the Clash shield and a deployable shield, just looking her in the eyeball.
Yeah, that was interesting. They were just staring at both those shields, and Phoenix didn't take the fight, so maybe because he thought he would lose it, which I guess was good, because in the end, Phoenix was able to get those kills on the players pushing through into into projector from that angle, even though the shield was destroyed. So having trigger discipline is good, but we'll go back to our split site. We'll see how they do it. Last time the Nook was so very important, but this time they didn't expect them to go back to split, so the Nook isn't even in play.
Yeah, but I guess that's why. It's curious. I mean, Axios clearly banned that pulse out so that they could get away with that. I mean, because the only thing that would have stopped that Nook plan is pulse. This pulse would absolutely blatantly see a Nook. It doesn't erase her heartbeat. So definitely a calculated ban from Axios, but I mean, yeah, they're not bringing the Nook again. So this could be an Oceanus round, an Oceanus adjustment to kind of go to this side again instead of going to lobby or.
Yeah, it's surprising. Maybe they thought they were going to lobby something like that. Maybe a different site, so they're not exactly planned for it. But now they know exactly they're going to split. How exactly are Axios going to take this without the Nook, without that same play? Are they maybe going to rush downstairs? I know this time Phoenix, though, isn't putting his mirrors farther out. He's extending out into small office by garage. He put them back in blue and put them as well inside that closet pointing towards Pipe's hallway. So this time it's a bit more turtle strut here from the side of OCG, and Axios now have to figure out how they're going to take the site with all the players just playing, so turtle, so back.
I mean, this mindset that they have to just push quickly, I'm actually a huge fan of it. And okay. I mean, except when you run into Exod on Nitro, then you get humbled. Just absolutely destroy the Ash with the Hollow. She didn't get to fire a bullet, I don't think.
So it looks like they know where they push this point. They're pushing Spiral, they're pushing that Pipe's hallway, but they ran into Exile already playing that Spiral play. There's two actually in Spiral too, so they're pushing straight down it. It looks like they're trying to take that fight, but they look like they're going to take it, but they actually backed off, and now the Alda of Exile is going to push them back as he fires 81 bullets back at them. And so at this point now, Axios are really stalling out. They're not sure how to play this out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they actually had two players blinded on Spiral there. Little did they know. They actually pulled off the push, and yeah, this Vista site's going to be undefended, but there are cameras in there that are going to ruin your day if you try to just flop into the site. And all 5 defenders still up with 3 C4s and even an impact for Exod, an insurance impact in case that there isn't a floor roll where they decide to plant.
Oh, there's the floor holes coming into play. He tries to get a kill with the SMG-11, but unfortunately, Japanese went through the gate and he kills that way. And the shotguns come out and he actually will. Darken gets the kill and Tom going for that plant once more. And so the diffuser is down on top of the printer of all places too, because of Tom tried to plant without getting blown by C4. But bullets can do a job as well. And Darken with another kill on the Varus with the C4. Big Sexy going downstairs though. He tries to get 2 and he does get 2 on Exile and Darken. He's trying to go for this bait and switch and it works out as Big Sexy with 3. He'll finish off by Phoenix though in a refire, but it's a 1v2 here for Challenger as Phoenix and Kibbs. Still C4 available too, so unlikely that he can go for a plant, but also both defenders are split up. It doesn't matter actually, it's Phoenix. He'll finish him off with a headshot from that Vector, and Oceanus Games will take 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's just unfortunate that Nox Strat not working out because they never had a chance to run the Nox Strat. And honestly, really smart from Oceanus to not go to lobby without the pulse. Instead, just take the gamble and go to archives again, even though they lost to a knock plant. And yeah, that was quite the side adjustment. I got to commend that. And I mean, Axios, you also got to commend the bravery to be pushing around the map that they do, the way they do. But ultimately, I mean, they just lost just about every fight that mattered. And while I believe the Nomad from last round, I'm already forgetting his name.
Oh, Big Sexy. He almost had that round too. 3 kills to his name for that round. He could have made that work. Maybe if another player from Axios was maybe Kenan V stairs or in kitchen to deny, the player of Phoenix from peeking around and taking that kill and getting that refrag. So maybe it would be different if someone was down there with them, but at that point it was pretty dire for the side of Axios.
Oceanus, I mean, most of their defenses have been pretty convincing. Axios, other than the knock round, only really been able to put together one really solid attack, and even that was like a clutch against a 1v1 against Clash, I want to say. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, Oceanus is kind of passing the eye test in terms of having a grip on the game.
So we'll see them go back to our garage and kitchen defense here. Last time, it was a really good play by Japanese playing inside the bathroom. Actually, no, it was Phoenix, actually. Phoenix, not back. He was playing inside the bathroom last time. He was able to get almost 3 kills. 2 kills and a down. But that allowed that pretty much through the entire attack of Axios, like disarrayed entirely. Ended up being a 2v2, and they couldn't get the plant down due to just not enough intelligence, not enough timing, really. So we'll see how they do this time, as they're already trying to push upstairs. Last time they pushed upstairs really quick, but it looks like this time they're playing a lot more aggressive on the Oceanus side.
XL was probably anticipating them just running lobby again like they did the first round, but they've actually switched up slightly and ran into the Visa double door instead, and see 2 attackers kind of situated over there, and finally the Ash of Ashes. That's hilarious. Has he always been doing that? Ash of Ashes.
Ash of Ashes.
Wow. Okay. I mean, if he's been playing Ash this whole time, I just noticed that. That's a mistake on my part. But we do see the kitchen, or rather the floor holes there on the bathroom door. It's going to make it a lot harder for the Zofia to push through that door.
I wonder if they're going to use any kind of utility to try and deal with the player inside of bathroom. This time the two things to do is no thermite, so going through garage with just a Habana is getting kind of pretty difficult here for Axios. I'm just seeing how this works. And this time it was Phoenix playing in the bathroom, and he got 2 really big kills here playing in this site. But it looks like they are actually going to expend utility to deal with Japanese. He's going to jump down the hatch and just come back to site as see what exactly happens. But it's 1x Kyle's wasted though, so they really can't even open garage that well with just 2x Kyle's left on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the downfall. They've exclusively brought Habana. No regard for picking in the favor of the basement site in terms of their breacher choice. And it might cost them here, like you said, the only 2 Habanas is going to be nightmarish to try to crouch walk through that breach, especially with all the bulletproofs that OCG continues to bring. They're going to have to hit some sort of misdirection play from the back here if they want any chance, really, trying to push through this breach.
Oh, and there's the first kill for OCG. They'll take out Varus from below. That's a good kill for Phoenix. And yeah, as I said before, like unless they do some misdirection, some bait and switch here, it doesn't seem like it's going to work for them, as Big Sexy is trying to make the play. But I think there's a castle barricade on that kitchen door. So they open that kitchen door. It's just kind of screaming, hey, we're going for the misdirection. We're going for that bait and switch play. C4. Here the C4, it does come out, will not make a play, will not get a kill there for OCG. The wall is now open, that crouch wall total top one. Oh, unfortunate timing here for Dargan as he right by Pipes, Reich's walking to Ashes, who takes the life. And now still you got 25 seconds left. There's not a lot of time here for Axios to finish this attack, but still a 4v4 though. There's so many players on the board still available for to make plays.
There's actually X on the flank there in Visa. And Tom's actually going to fall to the gas canister. Nexon's taken out on the flank, but the Ash pushes through on the Castle of Cobb. Or Kibbs. It's a 2v2. The Ash finds another, but Smoke just has to find the planter.
Just stay alive. Oh, he's planting as well, though. Ash is going for the plant. It doesn't matter. His Big Sexy finish of Japanadian Axios. They'll take that by the skin of their teeth. By what? It was just a mere seconds. They had to get that plant down.
That was unbelievable. And once again, Axios gets by on the skin of their teeth. Honestly, all 3 rounds they won have been skin of their teeth.
Yeah, that was some interesting plays here from Axios to bring it back, to make it a 3-3 rather than a 4-2, rather than a 5-1 in the favor of OCG. And now if he's OCG on attack, though, we'll be going upstairs to console and meeting as per usual. But the Capitao is on the board here for the side of OCG. But of course, Mai and Jaeger are available to Axios to deny that.
Yep, and Are we just gonna gloss over that I called Tom text him?
Oh, I heard that. I was just gonna let it go.
That was so funny.
I was gonna let that go. I heard you say
Text
text,
him.
and then he said Tom, and I was like, bro.
Yeah, man, text him. But anyway,
Text him.
yeah, we are gonna be seeing the capital come out now finally, and yeah, I mean there is a Womai Jaeger, but like we talked about earlier, that we saw the clip of VR6 where you can absolutely ADS clear and still use your capital. It just takes a little bit more coordination, and it allows you to be, and you have to be a little more decisive before the Womai obviously deploys all his Womais. I mean, that's kind of, if both these teams have that to their advantage, that they push quickly enough that Womai is actually not going to have as much of an effect as an error has indeed occurred.
Well, we'll go back to a quick break, guys, or as we fix up an issue going on with our observer. We're back in a quick second, though, as actually, we'll figure out things out. But either way, so we're going to the attacking side here for OCG, and we saw they brought both, the Capitao, and they brought quite a few flash as well as deal with Womai and Jaeger. I'm interested to see if they do Yellow Take as well from the side of OCG.
We're back, baby. We're live. We'll do it live. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be seeing Yellow Take. We're going to be seeing Admin Take with the Capitao, curiously enough. Either which way, though, it was kind of what was my train of thought. I was talking about how the Womai, if the team push quickly enough, you can kind of circumvent the advantage Womai has. The snowball. I mean, Womai is almost like a snowball operator.
Well, just like Legion as well. The time base is towards the end of the round, he's the strongest he can be with all those magnets, or Legion with those school mines. But I'll see it's interesting too as well. You already see quite a few room playing from OCG, people downstairs, people playing through Visa, people clearing through admin as well. At least with the Capitao though, they can have those smoke bolts to deny those line of sights that were so strong for Phoenix when he was playing there. You put those smoke bolts in the prick positions, you can't get shot, or at least it's harder to get shot from bathroom or from waiting room.
And as we see, the Womais have already been cleared, so that grenade's got to come out before he throws another one. He could line up that grenade and hit Big Sexy here. Big Sexy's actually going to drop. And he's below 2 C4s now. Both C4s downstairs in the lobby, and OCG doesn't seem too interested in pushing out those C4s, so that might be a huge trump card for the defense to pull out late in the round, as the grenade's going to hit nobody because he's gone. He dropped.
It's amazing to see because they have the IQ available here from Darken, so they can deny those information from the side of Axios in those dying moments. It could be good as there's a down though from Darken, so there goes your IQ we're talking about. One play playing upstairs. There's the aggression from the Jaeger of Ashes, but he's taking out the Japanadian. So they can get back up Darken, and so they can go for this push. Hopefully they can get rid of the information before they get C4. I don't know if Veros and Big Sexy, there's Big Sexy playing below. He has C4 available. I don't know if Veros is with him. That's exactly if this plays out like they want to for OCG.
We saw the Habana actually attempted to open that long wall, but the wall's actually muted. I feel like if that angle is actually open, it was pretty much curtains for the defense. At least barring those C4s from below, you expect an attacker to rotate to the front door at some point. It's Japanadian actually. He's kind of worked his way into the bottom spiral area. He should be able to deny the C4s from below.
Does he know,
check
though?
this corner. He doesn't. He doesn't check the corner with the mute's actually hiding. That's going to cost them Phoenix, but the diffuser should still be able to go down if the Capitao picks a place to plant. Plant's going down about halfway through, and no one able to stop it except Big Sexy on the flank with the shotgun out. He's traded by Capitao, who finds... No, it's actually the Womai who finds 2, but the diffuser's still down. That went from 0 to 100 real quick, but the Womai ultimately, though, still...
That's actually the IQ with the AUG.
Oh. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like,
yeah, that was
like
Darken on the IQ, able to secure 2 kills and basically come back on that round because, Darken was down earlier by the Jaeger of Ashes, but he's able to come back from being downed and able to take 2 kills and clutch that round for what was a mess from OCG. That was an entire mess.
I'm going to be honest with you, it flicked around so much, man. And at my advanced age, I was like, what just happened? Because I'm hearing and seeing it all go off. I see a guy on the flank. I'm not sure if that's a sledge. Who's even on the Visa stairs? Was it a guy? Was it a smoke? Was it sledge? It was
the mute of Big Sexy on the flank.
How did he? Okay, what was in Japanadian down there in bottom spiral with him?
Oh, so Japanadian takes out Veros with the first C4, but that was playing Valk. But then you had the closet player of the mute a big sexy. He was in the closet. He shotguns, but he gets C4 off first. He got the C4 kill. I think it was Capital of Kibbs first. He was going for the plan, and then he shotguns the hatch, drops down into below, goes up a piece of stairs, gets the kill on a Japanadian, but then Darken on the IQ able to refrag, and he took another kill on top of that to clutch in that round.
Wow. Well, you summarized it, because that was as hectic as it gets. And then did he shotgun the lobby hatch and then run up the stairs that way? Because there's no way he ran through spiral that quickly.
No, he shotgun the hatch in the closet. Remember the closet hatch that goes down 3 stairs?
Okay, yeah. I was like, there's no other way he could have.
Yeah, no, he was sitting in that closet where they didn't join him, so Japanese didn't get that kill because he only thought Veros was the only one down there.
Okay. I mean, these teams, no shortness of excitement, clearly. No shortness of impeccable movement skills. That was the hottest rotate of 2020. But in round 8 here, and it looks like they're going for an admin push again. A cheeky Spyro Pell coming out from Kibbs as he's trying to improve his CGG rating just a little bit with the early pick. The Mazi. Ross not pulling up on the scoreboard necessarily this match, curiously enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, Veros not doing that great this round, but it looks like they're going for a different take this time. Of course, they still have the Jaeger, but they dropped, top other operators to bring more denial of information, because information was the big thing. They don't have the Valkyrie for information themselves, but at least they can deny the information from the attackers so they can't make it as, as vital plays when it comes to the end there. Because I think information was big for them. As I say that, no, Exoc has the kill on a Big Sexy, because Big Sexy will peek that door to Visa Stairs, unfortunately, right into the hands of Exoc.
Unfortunately, Big Sexy, that's the big hero for his team, dead. So it's going to have to be someone else to pull through as we see the same Habana hole and shot bullets coming. Oh, my God. Oh, Oceanus, let me talk it through. They've already a minute in. It's a 5v2. And
that was...
There's no C4s left, so they're going to have to just straight murder people. And that's Tom and Ashes. Ashes finds Darken, but Phoenix finds Japanadian, so I guess that's one way of bringing it back. It's a 3v2, but there's so much time left for the attackers, though, and still all the bolts for Capitalis. Tom finds Exod now.
Yeah, it's looking down here for Oceanus as they're just falling. They actually know where these players are at, but they're still losing these fights. It's just Tom and Ashes, both are low HP. Looks like Ashes is trying to reposition himself to a better time. He's going to yell stairs so he can get a long angle if they go through from these V stairs into sight so they can watch from bathroom. So this is kind of a poor position, but the line of sight, perfect time for Kibbs to use his crossbows to deny a line of sight and to deny rotation with the firebolts. He's going for a plant. No C-Veil variable for this team to really indirectly deny this plant. Kibbs and Tom have to get aggressive, but they can't because the fire's in the way. So they're going to reposition in waiting room and long desk to take these fights with these post-pump position attackers. But unfortunately, one does. Kibbs watching long desk and Phoenix to take out Tom, and Oceanus Gaming will take that round, even though it really looked like Axios might have bring back.
Yeah, almost got out of control there for Oceanus, but again, it seems like the theme of the day is just the first minute of these rounds. It's almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like you watch Pro League so much and nothing happens for the first 3 minutes. But these guys are playing on a whole different wavelength. They just say, you know what? Run in, it was just swinging on everything and getting opening picks. Both teams. It's beautiful. I love it. I love watching this.
Yeah, this has been really great so far. Both teams just taking action immediately. Sure, the droning is happening, but while the droning is happening, the players, the fraggers are taking the pace and trying to take control of the action. It's great to see from these teams. What you do really, because when you're droning out and you're happy with droning, you need to have the fraggers behind those drones to make things happen. So great work from both teams, and we'll see exactly if Axios though on their defense side can bring it back though, because they've been the backstep so far though. They're losing these rounds, and it's only 2 more rounds left to go before Oceanus will win some regulation.
Axios, they've got to pull some more convincing rounds out if they want to keep this one, even if it goes to overtime. It just seems like Oceanus is just a lot more in a commanding position in most of the rounds. We're seeing that castle. Honestly, that castle is genius. The way these teams just push in. Something's got to slow them down.
Yeah, they have something to do it. Like the Legion play, like the Varus bringing Legion, Challenger bringing out the castle as well. They're trying to deny both information and that quick movement here from OCG, which is just great adaptation here from Axios. Can it work out though is the problem. With this very interesting play, they're reinforcing and they're playing upstairs. We've seen this before from teams in the passive consulate. It hasn't been as of late though. I haven't seen them play that same kind of that, you know, holding off L like that and playing inside a piano or bathroom. As there's the really quick start here from OCG. They're already inside of Visa. They're running right through. There's no drones actually. They're all just pushing. They're face checking together as a team, which I guess works because they can refrag. And it looks like, oh, there's Ashes to walk right into the spiral. Perfect timing. He almost
just
got
switched on the
out.
hatch. They're going for it. They realized the roam setup for Axios, but Ashes is actually taking it. That's the attacking IQ with the AUG, and X-Dot's going to find Challenger. That's two of the roamers above, but the player on site, that's
he's inside.
Big
They're planning kitchen.
Big Sexy
it's Big Sexy tick too, but it's unfortunate. Can they deny the plant though? And they're looking for anybody. Come back on the site though. It's Big Sexy get one more. Varus gets one onto Phoenix. Now it's a 1v. No, it's a 0v3 as they have to make this retake happen. What Axios though? What a retake.
Yeah, Big Sexy literally just ran down Spiral and iced everybody. At least three of them.
Yeah,
of course you gotta credit the guys on site, but he died. He didn't catch it, but he literally, and I don't know how he got there, how he got away with it, but he just murked like 3 people from Spiral.
Big Sexy on the mute. He is to be feared at this point too. That was some great work from him, and also Varus and Challenger as well to take back site more than anything, because that's the crazy thing. They had kitchen, they had small office, and these players, these defense from Axios are able to take fights and win them out on these defenders or these attackers who were defending at that point.
Yeah, you know, it was a good attempt on the rush, but man, I mean, it was a good read to realize, hey, these guys are hiding behind a castle set up upstairs. Maybe we could I mean, the hatch that they dropped too, they dropped the Visa hallway hatch right in front of the castle double door in the hallway in Visa. And man, it would have been the most genius drop if it actually worked.
If it actually worked, that would have been crazy if it worked, because they were so close to making it, but this is a really good retake from Axios. So we'll go back upstairs to our console and projector defense here for Axios. Last round though, it was close though. It was a 2v2 in the end due to some really good takes from, you know, really good flanks and everything too. Actually, no, last take they had is they were foiled a lot of times too. Actually, they went for a lot of those flanks earlier in the round, and Exod, Phoenix, they expected those flanks. Kibbs too, like that was really good from them actually to expect that. The Mozzie was walking up these stairs.
Yeah, really good.
Challengers.
What's Challenger doing?
He was walking in place for the longest time.
He's dancing to Michael Johnson.
Still walking in place.
What is going on?
I'm assuming he's getting disconnected. I'm assuming he's gonna do. He's still shooting the wall too. Surprisingly, he was still making rotates.
It might be that bug where he's like, I don't know, he's to the moon, I guess. Yeah, no, you have to hit tab and see his like ping or something.
Well, let's hope he's not disconnecting. Let's just hope he's not disconnecting, so keep playing. But either way, we'll see. Of course, the same admin tick here from the side of OCG. That wall, of course, is closed because last time you saw, I think it was Big Sexy. He swung on Visa stairs, and because that wall was soft, it allowed Exod to get the first kill.
Yeah, it looks like Exod again, no hesitation, just runs straight in and absolutely murks Tom. So the trend continues. These teams absolutely disregarding any sort of logic in the first minute, just kind of running at people. I love it. I literally love to see that.
That was crazy from the Exile. That's what you're supposed to do. Exile's the Frenchy fragger. He's supposed to get those impact kills, making those entries for his team. So now they've gotten rid of one person long deaths. Can they get rid of the players in the waiting room and inside of the projector? Of course, you have to deal with the magnets and the ADSs from Jaeger and Y. And here's a long shot from Varus. Varus taking an ACOG this time, trying to take a long angle from IKEA.
And once again, Axios find themselves at a disadvantage early, and we're gonna have a lot of time to kill here, and only one C4. I mean, here's Rook pick.
Yeah, especially not a Doc pick, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to like absolutely snipe people from CO, which is very much a play here, given OCG especially. They struggled last time they attacked up here to kind of close out the round.
Yeah, it's like the drone coming out, but the mutes are in the way. The jammer's in the way from really droning out where everybody is. Big Sexy downstairs, so is Ashes. So the same C4 play looks like it's trying to happen from Big Sexy. He was in the closet last time. Here's a good bullet hole here from Veros through the desk. And it really seems like Oceanus are stalling for the moment. Maybe they're trying to wait for it before they can, cover all the angles before they go for a push. But they're really just baiting it out here. Waiting maybe for more picks, but more than anything, they're running out of time compared to how quick the attacks have been in previous rounds.
I mean, I think the key here is going to be whether the smokes are actually going to come out before OCG starts speaking. Yeah, I said we weren't going to call him OCG, here I am. But here we go. Smoke might come out from the Capital, yep, and as the push comes to long desk, again, the timing not there, kind of what I just said, and Phoenix C forward from Big Sexy in the same spot in the closet. Once again.
Yeah.
As Kibbs
is he going to go for the same flank? Ooh, the flank actually doesn't matter because Challenger gets one, Big Sexy gets Kibbs, the Challenger, everyone's dead already, so it didn't even need the flank. Big Sexy get one kill on the flank, but the rest of the players, Veros, Challenger, and Ashes, able to make those front-to-face 1v1 fights all in their favor.
So, our friend Big Sexy, let's talk about it.
Big Sexy was still in the same place. He was in the closet with the C4.
Let's talk about Big Sexy for a second. He actually just made his money, right, off the exact same spot and the exact same rotation, the exact everything on the exact same player. I could have sworn I was Japanadian down there in lobby. He let it happen on his head.
I think it was the same exact thing happened, yeah.
I let it happen to him again. He did not check for that. And I mean, that is the type of thing that causes holes in monitors if you're the planner and you're the guy dying to that C4. Let me tell you.
It didn't even make a big deal of it, actually, because even without, Big Sexy doing that, the C4 was important, but also just the fact that rest of the players on site were able to take those fights and win them out. Veros.
Yeah, I mean, the player pushed down the long desk before the smoke went off. It's just stuff like that. It is costing Oceanus, and if they end up losing this map, you gotta look back to rounds like that as, geez, man, what the heck were we doing?
Yeah, they were up 2 a little while ago, but Axios, they'll bring it back on their defense so far, making it 5-5. We're now reaching a point where the momentum's slowly going back in the Axios. Even though we have these rushes, only have the really quick plays by Oceanus, it's Axios who are coming back, who are making those retakes happen every single time now. Well, not every single time, but the last 2 rounds in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, the momentum is shifting. It seems like Axios is getting a little bit more of a grip. But it's also Oceanus losing the grip, as we talked about. But we're actually going to be seeing lobby for the first time, I want to say.
I don't
think. Either
team. Yeah, I don't think either team played this lobby so far. We've played split, we've seen upstairs, we've seen downstairs. We haven't seen lobby so far. So this is the first lobby and piano defense here from either team. So let us see exactly how they play this out, especially the course of upstairs players, of course, so they can deny verticality, or at least use that verticality to their own work here for Axios, so they can deny plants. As, of course, you see Darkin go up to the balcony of Projector, and shotgun's hold being made by Big Sexy.
Yeah, but not a lot of emphasis on the intel from the defense, so I'm assuming their plan is to just absolutely murder everyone with bullets. There is one C4 from, you know who, Big Sexy, but are they going to rely on his heroics for the third time in the last 4 rounds? That's the question.
Well, they said that this first thing for OCG is they got to deal with the person upstairs inside of Projector, which is Big Sexy, so that's kind of the first thing here for them. They're actually trying to push the person in the bathroom, where there's 2 players. You have Tom, and I think Veros or Ashes in there with him, as they open up that bathroom wall with the X-Kairos. And again, nobody wants to... Oh my god, there is Veros though with the aggression play from console. He takes a kill on the Japanadian. There goes your sledge.
And this is a piano take, looks like, for Oceanus, which that's not a good start, I guess, losing your sledge that way. And it looks like they might... Ross here might find a second player depending on their awareness level. Nope, not going to run out. He's going to run away, which is smart in Veros. He's going to live to see another day. And CEO controlled, though, it has been established for the attackers, and the smokes are actually going out on piano, or at least in the antechamber, but no swing through happening just yet.
Oh, the plant's actually going by
Exod's
Phoenix.
taken
Phoenix is trying to get planted. Kibbs takes Tom. Ash just takes Exod, but there goes the planter down. It's down to just Kibbs in a 1v4 as they went for this push, but it's such an aggressive push and there's so much death happening that now it's Kibbs trying to take out so many defenders and they all jump out at him and he gets, that's Ash's 3 kills for the round and they're going to retake and be able to counter defuse and this Axios take the lead.
And that's what, how many retakes in a row is that for Axios? Well, the plant's gone down, but it doesn't matter.
3 so far now.
That's. I knew I heard the smokes go out, but it looks like he just kind of. I don't know. He kind of repelled in under fire there. That was like a Vietnam hot landing zone.
Yeah, they didn't take control upstairs. They just kind of forced their way into piano, and they just had not enough people to really deny or really just push back. All of the defenders now try to push their way back on the site, and they keep losing those fights. So it's just really, I don't know, there's not enough clearing from OCG before they make pushes. And you saw from like the first minute and a half, they didn't do much really. They lost a player, which was Japanese in the first like 30 seconds. Do some aggression from Veros, and otherwise they didn't make any kind of any other plays. They didn't take control of anything else besides piano.
Yeah, I mean, it really was defining was the lack of like yellow stairs and Z hallway control. I imagine if there was probably a little bit more cover in that department, they probably would have been able to cover the Habana and actually post-plant that a lot better. But I don't think the control around the yellow stairs was as tight as they'd like. Ultimately leading to some, I mean, the defenders were literally on top of the Habana, like, she was the POW at that point. And yeah, just look at the momentum from Axios just snatched away.
Yeah, last 3 rounds all counted. Just being able to counter defuse, get rid of that diffuser in the retakes of each site. So just really props to Axios to really play that out. And maybe OCG just taking it, they take things fast and they've been doing it quickly in the beginning, but now they're starting to get bogged down. They're starting to fall tricks to the way the Axios is playing these sites.
All right, and we are seeing a CEO hash reinforcement. It looks like Axios going for that same hold that we saw OCG try to rush before. So the question is OCG just gonna rush it again?
I would hope they don't do the same things. They're bringing a thermite this time. It's like, I think last time they only had Habana too, so they really could even push sites. So at least this time they have a thermite to push garage if they want to do that instead of pushing, you know, that downstairs take. And so it looks like there is an admin take. They maybe want to take part of it and roam clear. There sees the electric claw of Tom is on that wall, so that'd be the first thing, take control of piano. But you saw there was players at Z, there was players inside the bathroom, so there's a lot of room game dealt with here for OCG.
Yeah, OCG opting for a more conservative route. Still pushing aggressively, but going to be clearing that top 4. It's Ashes versus Exod, that crucial entry fight, and it looks like Ash is going to get away for now and fall back to the debate. Just kidding, he's going to actually continue to rotate into the open yellow door, and Baras also looking like he's gonna peek into that area as well, but I thought he was gonna rotate to the safe haven on the 2nd floor around the bathroom area, but he continued the rotation right into the waiting arms of Phoenix.
Yeah, that was a C4 wasted here by Big Sexy, unfortunately. So there's that C4. There's still one more by Tom, but that's one C4 gone trying to kill someone inside of waiting upstairs. And whether or not they can destroy this electric claw is only a minute and 15 seconds gone by at this point. So there's still time to control piano. There's one player inside a bathroom. There's nobody else really to deny this kind of push, but there's a lot of resources and utility to deal with here when it comes to, you know, all of those castle barricades and the mute jammers that OCG has to go through.
And OCG, technically, they could go for their same back push they wanted to go for before, especially as Roth is taken out. It's kind of a hole in the strat at the moment, especially if the Thermite's able to open the wall without incident, though the Cade is making that a little bit difficult.
Looks like the Cade, the electrical is gone, but looks like another one's coming through. Can it actually get rid of this external charge before it goes off? And it looks like it will actually get the external charge. Great time here from the Kaid of Tom, and also good kill from Big Sexy. Cabs is down too. This attack is starting to fall apart, and Axe is starting to bring this back, but it looks like the second electric claw is destroyed, and there's only one external charge left here for Phoenix to use, so that's a small opening for him to go through.
And he's got enough time, but he does have to contend with that C4 Cade, who's playing that Pipe's power position. Gonna have to be some vertical pressure coming through, as Kibbs is likely just going to bleed out and die horribly. It doesn't look like a teammate is going to make it to him in time, and if they do, they're going to spend a heck of a lot of time trying to pick him up. It looks like, I want to say that's Darken over there trying to pick up his teammate, and it's too late. He actually was a second late on the revive, and that's huge. It's almost 20 seconds that were wasted trying to pick him up, but that is the K taking out pipes. But it's the castle in the back that is found by Dark, and he somehow managed to work his way all the way through the kitchen. Actually ended up working out for him because he went to pick up his teammate. So he ended up going down the stairs, which the castle didn't expect.
Yeah, good work. So a good start from Oceanus Gaming, but unfortunately they did kind of slow it down due to all the resources. But good start getting rid of 2 players because they were able to cover that yellow stairs rotation. Phoenix, great job on that flank watch or rotation watch, able to deal with 2 players, giving them man advantage. They did lose 2 members, unfortunately, in those engagements trying to go to site, but they were able to bring it back, open up that garage, and win those fights on, especially because a lot of the defenders were pushed back due to the vertical pressure. So they were allowed to go back on a site and take those long range fights in their favor. So now we have 6-6. It is overtime here for both teams. Can OCG bring it back or win this map? This is Axios' map pick though, so they should be able to take this.
And it looks like
we're going to rehost because this is being on defense on OT.
Looks like Oceanus is gonna have some time to think about it. Everybody's gonna have some time to think about it because rehosts are a time to think, right?
Yep. So we should be going to rehost real quick. It looks like the wrong side for Axios on their OT. So we'll be going quickly to our faces real quick. Say hi to everybody. Hello. Welcome back to our cams, our lovely faces. Let's talk about what happened so far on this map. So we're at 6-6 at the half. Both teams 3-3 on their defense halves. Great work from both teams too, actually. Some really subversive play from Axios though, and some really crazy retakes.
Yeah, Axios just doing an incredible job of retaking and clutching out those runs, especially Big Sexy. I feel like he picked Big Sexy to force us.
He did that twice in a row, sitting on that closet. He switches those C4 up into projector, gets 1 kill, shoots down the hatch, drops down and goes for a flank up Visa stairs. Did that twice in a row, and both times Japanadian unfortunately could not identify where he was. And also on that Big Sexy, on that retake of downstairs, you saw him get 3 kills in the end, going down spiral stairs, retaking that cafeteria and garage take. So really good work from them. And it just seemed like OCG, they had some really quick takes and efficient takes in the beginning, and then it turned into a rush almost in the end.
Yeah, they're taking quickness and efficiency and turning it into violent rushing, which, I mean, like we talked about during that round, it was very possible that could have turned into, a genius drop rush that, they just read the defense and rushed, right? Nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, it's like, I think it was actually Big Sexy who came down spiral and kind of, he just throws wrenches into everything OCG's trying to do right now. And honestly, if Big Sexy wasn't playing the way he was, I'm not so sure. Now, like, this could age poorly, and Axios could win the round or win the rest of the game off of, someone else. But it feels like Big Sexy is definitely playing a huge part in a lot of these rounds, especially these retake rounds where...
Yeah, some of those retakes are great. Some of the impact kills from Big Sexy is big. There's a couple of rounds where those only Big Sexy, but some of the other players who were able to deal with these attackers and go for those head-up engagements and win them, which is great to see from Axios. It was more, I definitely agree in that round when it came to retaking that cafeteria garage. It was definitely Big Sexy with most of the momentum on that one. But when it came upstairs, I think it was a mix on some of the other ones. But either way, like Axios though, they were able to end that 3-3. Like stay able to keep that in pace with OCG, even though it started out OCG did really well. Though it took OCG some time to really backpedal and slow it down as they needed to, because if they didn't slow it down, they weren't able to take those rounds. Then when they were going too fast, they were losing those rounds because they were just kind of going head in. But as they slowed it down, they figured out they droned out and figured out how they did plant, and they were able to use that vertical pressure and go for a real, I guess, a normal strat, fortunately.
Yeah, normal for their standards, huh?
Yeah, I guess not for their standards, I guess. Like our standards.
Yeah, I mean, they're also using that Capital really well. A lot of these rounds, I mean, we saw the Capital was huge in the 2v2 on the top floor where they were able to kind of just utility dump the smokes and the flames and actually steal a round against Axios, a huge round. And yeah, I think it's, I definitely, even though, this is 6-6, I definitely feel like Oceanus strategically has a good idea of what they want to do, and they're kind of executing it better than Axios. Axios is definitely more clutch in many ways than OCG. Yeah, so
it seems like Axios is able to clutch on these rounds and able to bring back when it comes to the retakes. I don't know if that's always going to work, though. I also take that partially in the fact that OCG been playing it really aggressively. But we'll see exactly. We have OCG on attack first, actually, here on this one. It's OCG on attack, and it's Axios on defense when we go to OT. So it's not really, no side has been really favored so far. So it's really up in the air for either team whether they win this or lose this, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to whether Axios is able to kind of keep up the clutch potential that they've been demonstrating the past couple, at least up until last couple of rounds. Are they able to keep that going? Is Big Sexy able to keep his killings free going?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they go so far. I would love to see. I'm sucks we have this rehost because I would love to see the scoreboard at the end for some of these stats. We probably have to go back and really collect the stats and who did well and everything, because some of these players are doing extremely well on those retakes. Big Sexy this game, and maybe it was Varos last game, and Phoenix this game doing well. Darkened really did well last game. Maybe this map he's not doing as well, but it's Phoenix not picking up the slack and doing well. Exod's still getting those impact kills though. Maybe not getting a lot of kills, but he's getting the important ones.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is Exod still has I'm pretty sure he had double digits.
I couldn't remember the last map.
Feel like
it doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't feel like he's there, but he is. He just alarmingly consistent as we're going back to the top floor.
Always that first kill, always that important kill to start the round out and give OCG that favor, at least in the beginning. It may not always work out, but he's doing very well in the entry fragment role. And so we'll go back upstairs for another try here from Axios to try and hold this top floor site on this overtime first round.
Yep, and we're going to be seeing the Rook come out again. I mean, it's stark contrast to Oceanus, who came out with the Clash strats and all that. I mean, Axios is just bringing a Rook and hiding in closets in lobby. Definitely a difference in... he actually impacted the table, let the smoke... That's interesting.
I'm assuming it's because they're holding for the bathroom.
I suppose. I guess they're not going to be playing that with the smoke, because if they are, they just made it 10 times. They just put that on veteran difficulty for the projector player.
I think the projector player is the Big Sexy who's been jumping down the hatch and going into that closet. So I think that's part of the play.
I suppose.
I think Big Sexy will play that for the most part until there's too much pressure. He loses that shield, he'll drop down into lobby, wait for the chance of C4, and then maybe then drop down the hatch. But I say that Ashes is dead already.
Ash is sticking his head where he ain't supposed to. And you're right, he's very much dead. And then, again, the attacker's wasting no time getting into admin and kind of executing, opening up that top staircase wall, and probably this copy room wall as well. And they're probably going to shoot out the top of the wall. They're very mechanically sound in this map, Oceanus. And it's almost like we've seen this like deja vu.
Yeah, it's kind of the same play every single time. They have the mags in the same place. They have the ADSs available for Big Sexy. I'm hoping this time they catch on to where Big Sexy goes. He doesn't do the same exact play as he did last time. As there's one player on the window. It's Kibbs there. It looks like trying to deny it by playing Projector, but nobody's there. Actually, Big Sexy's still in Projector, actually. It looks like he's trying to get a kill onto Kibbs, who was playing upside down, but he's moved. And there it is, Big Sexy on the kill of the Kibbs, who was not ready for that.
And once again, he's going to his favorite spot, the closet. He shotgunned it so that he shotgunned one little hole so that he could shotgun it once and drop out. And no one from Oceanus looking like they're going to contend with him again.
It looks like they at least make holes inside of that waiting room so they can at least see if he goes up Visa stairs from basement. But they're not denying the C4, which has probably been one of the big impacts too when it goes for that plant. So hoping this time maybe Japanese or somebody goes down there to deny the C4 in the first place, as it's only a minute left actually too, so time's actually gone by quite a bit. It's actually slowed down here for OCG, and let's see if they can execute correctly. And they actually ping onto Big Sexy, so this time they have a drone knowing where Big Sexy is this time.
He did get lit up a little bit by Imagine Japanadian down below. L85 going off, but he's finally been dispatched from his closet spot. And it looks like with only one smoke left for the smoke, the plant could go down unless Big Sexy, I mean, he's rotated from the closet to the antechamber, and I'm not sure if there's anyone actually there to handle him. He's just unchecked again. The plant's going down, but the Rook able to snipe Exod through the bullet hole, but no one's able to stop this plant. The plant's going to be able to go down with the connect repel. This could be math point for Oceanus. It's just Big Sexy who's on his 19th kill with the reloads, of course. He could find the 20th, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to find the round.
Yeah, at this point he's just trying to make his way back to site. It's a 2v3
20.
actually. A 2v1 actually, as Big Six gets a kill on Darkin. His other teammate is down, but there's a player on the balcony. He's now actually lying down on the balcony, waiting for a chance, waiting for the timing as Veros is coming to get picked up. If he hears it getting picked up though, actually he's gonna go for the defuse actually, rather than going for the pickup on his teammates. Jumping in, doesn't know he's to the left actually. He thought he was to the right. I don't know where he was looking exactly. Now it's just Big Sexy versus Japanadian, and what? He jumps to the window as well, and Big Sexy with the quad kill to put them on match point. Never mind. It's actually Oceanus because they had enough time actually. So even though Japan jumped in, he wasted enough time here for his team.
Most importantly, Big Sexy has like 22 kills at least, right?
Yeah, let's count that out now. We gotta figure out how many kills Big Sexy has.
It's like if he had 18 and 3-0, he just got 4. Quad.
Yeah, Big Sexy has his team on his back.
Literally, he put that team on his back though. Literally.
He almost had it too. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, let's say if that rook could have picked himself up, it's almost like the rook could have picked himself up.
Red dog.
If the rook could have picked himself up, there was a chance they could have won that. But
Well, actually, no, because he got down because he had the armor on though.
Maybe.
Yeah, because he got body shot.
I feel like Doc gets body shot and he gets down too. Isn't that like
I guess
RNG?
so, yeah.
Whether he dies. But yeah, I mean, either way, rook. Why?
It's a choice. It's a choice. It was a choice they made, and Axios will pay for it in a sense, I guess. As we go back down, we go downstairs to a cafeteria and garage here for Oceanus. This is match point. This is where they can win it out. Can they hold this site like they did before? They had some really good plays in bathroom, but can they replicate that?
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix hasn't really been able to replicate it since that one round he did it. Pretty sure. So, I mean, also Axios is kind of caught on though and started bonding the bathroom wall to force the mute to drop quickly. So this could, especially if it's Japanese, yeah, Japanese on the mute, he's gonna drop almost immediately when they go to bond that wall. So that could be the key for Axios to keep this going and keep it to max 15 round OT. To just move quickly,
too,
and
they don't have a thermite again too, so it's like having only 2x Kairos. I think last time they did this too, and they barely won, but like the skin of their teeth that round. So it's still very, very scary to see them only bring one heart breacher for this site.
You're 100% right. That's because this is I don't know how many attacks they've done at this point. 7 now. This is their 7th, and no thermite, not once. Normally you see teams bring thermite for the first round no matter what, but they haven't even done that. Just no interest in thermite.
It's kind of scary to see. Like, I know last time they did at least win this the second time they played this out due to some really good plays from like coming from the back, came from the back from the side of Axios, but can they replicate that again? It was really close for both teams, and we'll see exactly how they start this out. They're already trying to clear out. Oh my god, he just walks in. Veros walks in the bathroom and deletes Japanadian. There goes, one player in bathroom, and that's the kind of ferocity you need to see from these teams, from Axios, if they want to take this site.
Axios is not trying to lose. They're not trying to put that 22 bomb to waste. Big Sexy, who's going to start nomading those staircases, and already the claustrophobia for the defense starting to set in. They're going to have to create some picks somehow, some way, and that's exactly what Axios is going to do. He's going to head up spiral, looking to find someone on the flank, but that's likely nomaded, but not watched necessarily by the attackers right now.
Oh, but there's someone walking up to it. There's an Ash. He's putting his face up there, and it's Veros to lose his life. It's a good refrag from the side of Exod. Can he get another kill? Is he gonna go? He's gonna actually back off now. Now that's 4v4. He wants to waste time or anything. So good work from Exod as we go down to the last minute of this round.
Yeah, and that guy, you see the sledge is still looking for him. He's gone, Challenger. He's gone, man. He's gone. Great play from Exod.
Yeah, it was a great mix up. We're on to down to the last minute though, and still, it's just like the attackers now. Axios is really starting to slow down. This is where they start to stall. Like, I don't know whether or not they're going to break that momentum back to win this round.
Yeah, and that shield is actually going to be crucial. I mean, we saw the sledge was actually looking above still. He's got to start looking at pipes to deal with this player who could have a low angle onto the white band from that shield if he stands up. That could be huge, but he's still concerned about his flanks. And Phoenix, though, I'm not sure if he has any smoke. He does have 2 smokes left, so this could be his moment. 3 players on the yellow stairs landing. And he's absolutely deleted by Ashes. This is huge for the attack. It's a 3-on-4. Not a single C4 in play. Darkin finds two. But he's traded by Tom. But Tom's taken out by Exod, so the defenders, it's all
Oh, Big Sexy with the hit it from the back.
23rd kill, but it's not enough. 23. Shout out to Michael Jordan, but it's not enough.
It's
what
not
a save,
enough.
though.
What a game here from OCG.
Double.
Dude, Darkin, that was a play from Darkin to clutch it out. He's able to take those fights on yellow, win it out, and put it back in his favor. Even though Big Sexy coming from the back, almost able to flank them and get those kills back, but still unable to know where the last player was. He didn't have the the advantage when it comes to information, so unfortunately he loses that fight. So really good work from both teams, actually. Just surprisingly how powerful and how well these players on each team had. Like you had Big Sexy on Axios, you had Veros as well. Veros this round, and Ashes. Those entry frags on Smoke and the mute of Japanese and Phoenix almost had them the round. Those were just like immensely impactful kills for that round.
Yeah, that was a heck of a treat of a game. I mean,
yeah,
Canada might be the new Brazil after what I just watched. That was the most like they just nonstop. Both teams just run at each other. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
some people want to say it's like ranked style, but like
you love this.
There was actual like logic behind the aggressive pushing, and it's just like
it was
finally
depth, utility usage. There was action. There was just efficient gameplay all around.
Yes, shout out to Canada for making Oregon interesting to watch. Like Oregon was fast paced. What? That's unbelievable. I mean, amazing.
It was crazy. Either way, guys, that is our only match of this video. This is Oceanus versus Axios for 3rd and 4th place. So you should see on this stage Axios making 4th place and Oceanus making 3rd. But either way, I'm Benny Yao. This is Cookies, and it's great casting this game. That was fantastic. We'll see you guys next time.
Fantastico.